Hey, everybody, it's Friday evening.
Yep.
What's everybody doing out there?
We're just trying to get a little bit of drink on for Friday. We're not going anywhere tonight, but we're just going to,
We're going out on Sunday night,
Yeah,
actually. Going to Memento Mori on Sunday night, but we're not going out tonight.
Yeah.
There's Dave. He's going to be going to Mannequins later on.
Yeah.
He said, shit, that's how I start my night at Mannequins. Get me a 30-ounce bottle.
What, Colt 45?
Yeah. Well, we haven't. That's the thing, and I think did we start talking about it on the Wednesday show? Right. I kind of feel like we were talking about it, or
talking about what?
Talking about Colt 45 and all the cheap liquor. I don't remember if it was the Wednesday show or if it was one of the movie reviews.
Yeah. I don't remember either.
But it was sometime in the last week.
Yeah, I think it might have been on a Wednesday, and I think we mentioned it a couple times. I think. And
we decided. So Tom, when he was out at the store a couple days ago, he picked up a couple of. I couldn't find King Cobra, and I couldn't find fucking Schlitz Malt Liquor Bull. Do they not make it anymore? Maybe
no,
they don't make it anymore.
They make it. It's just they don't sell it around here. But I got Colt 45. I got two different kinds. I got the fucking standard Colt 45, and I got the fucking Colt 45 high gravity, the black one. High gravity. So we're gonna,
what does that even mean?
I have no idea.
Is it gonna make you like float up to the ceiling like Charlie Bucket and his grandpa did in Willy Wonka?
No, it's high gravity. It makes you heavier. You put it on, and you gain some more weight.
Yeah, I don't need that. Maybe that's why they're calling it that. It's like
gravity.
It's a low-key thing. Like
high gravity.
Gets you the more of it you drink, it gets you closer and closer to the floor as the night goes on.
Closer to the floor.
Which actually, if that's what they were thinking, that's actually pretty brilliant.
I don't know. Somebody can look it up. I'm sure it means something. Maybe it's the heavier stuff that falls down to the bottom of the fucking vat.
The sediment.
They use that. The higher gravity fucking
sediment.
It's probably thicker. We'll see. But I'll fire up the fucking Colt 45 when the time is right. I'm not gonna fucking start the show off with that. We'll
you don't want to blow the load like that early on in the show.
No,
we're in for the long haul.
We're in this shit for the long haul.
When we're probably like so drunk that we're not even gonna know what it tastes like. It's
yeah. I'll know
the thing about it is that I don't recall ever having drank Colt 45. I mean, I very well may have, like sometime in my 20s or something, and I just don't remember. But so you will probably be a better judge than me because I don't have any baseline comparison.
I've had it.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know if I've ever had it. If I did, it was so long ago that I don't remember.
I haven't had it in recent years. Last time I had it, I was a kid. I was in the Army, and I was just floating around in the barracks. You drank what people bought.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's
I've already told
just
these
what
stories.
you do.
I'll
That's
tell
what you do.
more of these stories later, but it's just fucking Colt 45 was something that the brothers would buy. You know what I mean? And you just drink up all your beer. They started offering you that, and fucking you're drinking that, and you fucking getting fucked up. I remember liking it, but then your fucking white your white squad mates go, no. They try to take it from you. No. They're trying to revoke your white card and shit. It's fucking funny, And then they're all laughing about it. Oh no, we're darkening him up some, all kinds of it's imagine fucking. An infantry barracks is kind of like a cross between a frat house and a fucking maximum security prison. It's like that.
Sounds super fun. But I was telling Tom, I was like, before we started the show, I was like, maybe, because this is such a fun little thing and we never thought of it before, and I don't know why we didn't think of it before. I said maybe every week, like when we're buying the regular booze for the show, we actually have rum today rather than vodka.
Rum,
I got like rum and orange juice and pineapple juice, and it's delicious.
Yeah.
But I said maybe when we go to the liquor store every week, maybe we should look for either canned cocktails or just like a little, maybe one of the little bottles of something that seems like a really weird flavor that maybe would be fun to taste test on the show to see what it is. I was like, maybe we should make that a thing.
Well, you see, when I went down there, I went to like 4 different places to go to. I was looking for King Cobra. So I go to the little fucking redneck, the junky fucking redneck fucking country fucking the farm liquor store. They had a lot of stuff in there. All right. And the woman working in there, she's just kind of a large Marge type, you know. And that's,
Did her face go?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. And I'm like, look, I got this YouTube show, and I gotta get.
Oh, you told her the whole story.
Yeah.
I figured you probably
Yeah,
did.
and
Because he was gone for a while, and he came back, and he's like, yeah, I had to go like a whole bunch of different places.
And it says, I found. And it says, I'm gonna fucking. I gotta get fucking Colt 45, King Cobra, and fucking Schlitz Malt Liquor Bull. And she goes, And I said, I got the Colt 45. I can't find the King Cobra and the fucking Schlitz Malt Liquor Bull. And she goes, so you trying to do a taste test on all the shit?
You're like, yeah, essentially.
I was like, yeah. and she goes, well, let's see if we can find it, you know. And she's looking around in there, and she's like, no. We don't have King Cobra. We don't have Schlitz Malt Liquor Bull. We've got Colt 45, and you know, high gravity. And I already had the regular one. I got the regular one, fucking Circle K, the white one. So I bought the black one, the high gravity. I says, okay, yeah, let me get one of those. And she goes, you want some Hurricane? I said, Hurricane? And I said, I don't think I want to try it. You know, I says, I'm just trying to look for stuff that's famous. And she goes, oh, Hurricane's famous.
In certain circles.
I said, it is. It's famous in Sanford.
There you go.
It's famous in Sanford. You know. And I said, no, I'll save that until later. And she goes, all right. You know, she was like that, you know. She was laughing because you be drinking some shit there. That's some shitty shit right there.
That's some shitty shit.
Yeah.
Zach even says, oof, Hurricane.
I've never heard of it.
I've heard of it, but like a long time ago.
I got Hurricane.
But I said maybe, like I said, that might be a fun thing to do. It doesn't always have to be like cheap, shitty shit. I mean, it could be that sometimes, but I kind of feel like maybe if we go to the liquor store, and especially around here, I'm sure there's like some really like scary, like rednecky liquor stores. So maybe we could go there and like find either really cheap, shitty shit or something that's like weird. Like you're like, that is going to be disgusting. Yeah. Let's try that out.
Well, there was a lot of stuff like that in there.
That's what I'm saying.
There's a lot of that kind of
So that might be, like, it doesn't have to be the whole show or nothing like that, but it's like, that might be like a fun thing to start doing, since we're already drinking anyway.
You get that shit down on probably OBT.
Maybe.
Yeah, some of those things down on OBT. Fucking some of those liquor stores down there.
Dave says you got to go to Pine Hills for all them favorites.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to go where the projects are to have all that shit.
That's what I mean. So then you could get some kind of stuff. But like I said, it doesn't necessarily have to be just that kind of stuff. It could be other kind of stuff, just like weird ass flavors. Not, I mean, I don't want to like spend a fuck ton of money on it, obviously, because I don't have a lot of money. But you could maybe get, like I said, if they had like those weird little airplane sample size bottles of like some fucking weird ass flavor or something like that.
They had all kinds of stuff in there.
That's what I'm saying. We could maybe get something I don't want to buy like a whole big thing of some shit I'm not going to drink.
That's the redneck store.
Yeah.
Yeah, the cracker store.
Everything around
the
here
cracker
is the
package store. Yeah. They had all kinds of
The crackage store.
The crackage store. Yeah.
In other words, that's what I'm going to start
Got
calling
large
it.
Marge working in there.
When she's not driving, she's not driving the big rig.
She was like 4'8".
Was she? So she wasn't that large.
No, she's big around.
She was. Oh, okay.
Big around, yeah. She was funny.
She was semi-large, Marge.
Yeah, she was young though. She's about 30, you know. Right there. So you're drinking the shit. You're like, yeah.
You're
reviewing the shit. Like, yeah. I said, yeah. That's some real shit there. That's terrible. But you see, this is the thing. That's what this is part of this fucking taste test. All right. I remembered it being better than Budweiser.
That's not really that high of a bar to clear, gonna say.
Then white dudes are defending Budweiser and fucking weird shit, fucking, you know, like Coors.
That's really the hill they want to die on, for Christ's sake?
They were defending that. They were going, no, don't drink that. And the brothers are like, no, man, drink malt liquor. It's better than that shit right there, you know. And I'd be tasting them both, and I was going like, yeah, that malt liquor's better. Just, I told you.
I mean, I will agree
it's
that
more smooth.
That malt liquor
it's more
is
smooth.
Than,
yeah,
it's generally better than like Budweiser.
It's more smooth. And I says, yeah, that shit's like that piss water there, man. It's not
of course, I haven't had Budweiser in a very long time.
Right.
So maybe they've improved it, but
I doubt it.
I kind of doubt it.
I doubt it.
Why mess with the winner? Because people still fucking buy the shit, right? for their Super Bowl parties or whatever. I don't know.
Back in that
I don't know what
1992 to late 1994 era, for the money, I remember in a military type situation, malt liquor was more bang for the buck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It tasted better. It was smoother. You got drunker off of it per dollar. And I remember liking it better.
What was that shit that used to be? I don't know if they still sell it anymore. I don't remember what it's called. But what was that shit that that came in like the bottle that was kind of was like flask shaped, I want to say.
Mad Dog.
Was it Mad Dog?
Yeah.
And it kind of tasted and looked like Jolly Rancher flavors, like it was blood.
Okay. Mad Dog 2020.
That's right.
Yeah,
I've had that a few times too, and I'm like, this isn't bad.
It tastes good.
And that'll fuck you up too.
It tastes good. I think that's another one that's just a malt liquor.
Yeah.
It's like a malt drink. It's not that strong, but it was cheap.
Right.
And
I've had that before.
It's fake wine.
Right. Yeah.
You could definitely tell it's like super, super fruity flavored. It's like...
it was like a Jolly Rancher.
Like a Jolly Rancher.
But boozy.
Yeah. Yeah, but we used to drink it. I'm telling you, man.
I've drank it before, too. It's all right.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. It was... I'll taste test that shit. If it showed
There's
up...
another show we should do.
If it showed up in the barracks, we fucking drank it. And you see, what was happening is that payday would all happen for everybody at once. Okay, so guys would run down to our fucking local fucking liquor stores and buy some shit for yourself. And you say, fuck it, I'm going to buy some shit for everybody else too. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Because it didn't cost much. Not back in those days. It was right outside fucking gates of Fort Campbell. So you could go like, yeah, give me like 20 bottles of fucking Mad Dog. It didn't cost you that much.
Right.
You know what I mean? I think they were like $3 a bottle at that time. Maybe
Damn.
$2.50 something. It didn't cost much. So $30 you could hook everybody up, you know? And you'd have a fucking party. And other guys are bringing like steaks and fucking, we'd put the grill out and fucking start grilling, and you had like fucking 7 competing fucking jam boxes. Everybody brought their fucking music, like 7 of them, all competing for airspace out there. It was a clusterfuck. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Fucking.
Yeah, I mean,
you couldn't hear either single any one of them.
I know how boom boxes
Yeah,
work.
boom boxes. You had like 5 of them, you know, and
Yeah.
they're all fucking trying to outdo each other. You can't hear a single one of them. And, you know, it's just fucking funny. But I remember that shit, we just fucking got the cheapest shit possible so you could get more of it. But we got Mad Dog. Another one that we get was fucking Thunderbird. Another one that showed was fucking Wild Irish Rose.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
And then there was some other one, White something or other, White Rock. No, it wasn't White. What was that shit?
What was it? White Lightning?
No. there was all kinds of fucking crazy shit that we were buying.
JJ said, back in high school here in Canada, we would shoulder tap for Colt 45, Old English, and Crest.
Old
LMAO.
English.
Have you guys tried Crest? Do we even have that here? Crest is toothpaste. I'm sure you probably have that in Canada too, but I have never heard of any. Yeah, Mango remembers Thunderbird. Camp Guy brings up Boone's Farm, strawberry wine. Yeah, I remember that being all right.
That's wine, though. That was different than Mad Dog. Mad Dog wasn't really wine. I think it might have been a little bit stronger than wine. I think it was what you would call a malt beverage. And it was came in like a glass flask. And it was real strong in flavor. Then it was like super punch flavor, super green apple, and they were like kids flavors.
Yeah, I remember those.
They tasted good.
Yeah, I remember those. They were good.
They tasted like, remember those fucking icicle pops that you'd put in the refrigerator?
Like Otter Pops.
Otter Pops. Like, yeah, they tasted like melted Otter Pops.
I call Pookie Otter
You
Pops
can sit there and drink them.
Because their little tail sticks up like the end of an Otter Pop.
Yeah. And then I remember Old English. Old English was another malt liquor. That was a good one.
I don't think I ever drank it, but I remember seeing it in the store. Like I said,
Old English.
I didn't really start
with E at the end of it, I think.
Well, yeah, because then
Old
it's
English.
fancy.
Old
because
English.
it's fancy.
That added 5 cents to the fucking bottle. Old English.
That extra E.
Yeah.
Mango said, is it Diamond White? Diamond White.
Maybe, yeah. It's been a long time. There was weird ones, man, like fucking Tomahawk and shit like that. They'd show, dude, a bottle of Tomahawk. And it came in a bigger bottle from what I remember. Yeah,
see, but that's the thing. It's like we go in liquor stores all the time, but usually we're pretty laser focused. I'm like, yeah, I gotta go get my Sky or whatever.
Yeah.
And then I don't really like look around at any of the other stuff. So I don't really know what's available or what they still make or anything like that.
Well, the shit that I'm talking about that we were drinking in the army, that was in the barracks, okay, in a barracks party situation. That was fucking rock bottom, ghetto drinking. You know, it was the cheaper the better, the fruitier. Well, it was like something you give to a kid because like, we were kids, we just didn't realize it. You know what I mean? Fucking
give the alcohol to the kids.
Yeah,
this is the kid-friendly alcohol.
Yeah. Even the cigarettes.
Get them started.
They knew how to attract. They knew how to attract people in their 20s to buy something. Real bright colors and everything. You know, fucking real strong flavors and fruity flavors and
Not
shit.
gonna lie, that would still work on me nowadays.
Even the cigarettes that we were buying, you know what I mean? If they had a really cool pack, we'd buy it. And looking back on it, I was like, man, that pack isn't real cool looking, but we thought it was cool. Like one of the ones that we were buying just for the pack was called Magna. Cigarettes called Magna. And they were a red pack, and it had kind of like a round disc. It looked like chrome, and it said Magna. It looked like a fucking hood ornament.
Like the Magna Carta.
Yeah, like the Magna Carta.
That's some important shit.
They were good cigarettes, though. It's just that, you know, you could definitely... It looked like a damn album cover.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Packaging is very important. Hey, I'm a graphic designer, man.
Yeah.
I've been doing that shit since, like, the mid-90s.
Yeah.
So I know how packaging is, like, really does, like, affect people's... You know, that's just the way people are. Mastiddle says, isn't strong white cider a thing in the U.S.? It's the go-to for kids drinking in parks and alcoholics over here in the U.K. Strong white cider.
Never heard of it.
Not really. That's not a thing.
Over here, they'd probably call that Mad Dog 2020. Probably what it is.
Yeah, which is like, I kind of feel like I don't really know what the kids today are doing because I'm
Thunderbird.
Because I'm almost 50. But I don't know. I kind of feel like when we were kids, everybody was just, well, you didn't have a lot of money, so you just drank whatever was cheap, and that was usually like malt liquor, and that would like fuck you up.
You hired a bum to go get your booze for you.
Well, yeah, because you couldn't buy it.
You buy it yourself.
You had to you had to give a bomb.
You find a bomb and you say, hey man, we need some. Oh, you want some drink? Okay, I get you. What do you want? Okay, give me the money. And he'd go over there and he'd get what he wanted and go in there and he'd buy a bunch of shit. And fucking, he'd go, you come back anytime. You know, he'd try to cut it.
It was a whole system.
It was a whole system. Never got ripped off by a bum either. But what they would do is they wouldn't give it to you. They would set it down and take what they wanted and walk away, because they didn't want to get filmed giving it to a kid.
Well, yeah.
Pretend like they lost it and forgot it. Yeah. And fucking we had a regular wino. Fucking they would hang out in Southgate. Fucking down.
Did he ever recommend anything to you guys? Like,
no.
He's like, hey, try some of this too.
No. We were getting Southern Comfort. Because Southern Comfort had a lot of bang for the buck and you could drink it straight.
You know what? I don't mind Southern Comfort.
Yeah.
And I'm not, and I'm not proud. Like, a few times when I was single, and this was when I was in my 30s, and I was, like, living in an apartment here in Orlando, every now and then I'd have a bottle of Southern Comfort around the thing. I'm like, you know what? I'm pouring this bitch in my coffee in the morning. It's going to be one of those kind of days. Yeah, you know what I mean?
For any of you people don't know what Southern Comfort is, it comes in a whiskey bottle. It's kind of like a liqueur de whiskey. Kind of like Drambuie, but fucking real cheap. Well, not real cheap, just cheap. Nowadays, it would probably be something like Fireball, or I don't know what would be equivalent to that. Fireball's a lot hotter, more cinnamon flavor. This was kind of sweetish. They're sweet.
Not sweet.
Kind of sweet, kind of a honey whiskey flavor. Kind of like a cheaper version of Drambuie, but not as thick as Drambuie. Nowhere near as expensive. Kind of like that Jack Daniel's apple, or Jack Daniel's honey.
I like that.
Jack Daniel's honey. It's probably would be closer to it. You could probably get that a lot easier.
I liked that Jack Daniel's honey. Somebody gave me a bottle of it a few years ago for Christmas, and I thought that was pretty good. The apple's good too.
Yeah.
Honestly, other day, a couple weeks back, when we were at iBar, / Barbarella, a friend of ours had, because you can only buy like the cocktails and stuff because they don't have their liquor license shit yet. And so a lot of people bring hard liquor, and you can just go out in the parking lot and kind of have a little tailgate. Yeah. So a friend of ours had some of the apple whiskey. I don't think it was Jack Daniels. It was something else, but it was the apple stuff. And so we all went out there and had shots of that. But man, he was fucked up at the end of the night. He was just like, I mean, not in a bad way. He was just was really.
John Smith saying the first time I got seriously drunk was on Southern Comfort. It still haunts him. Yeah. Southern Comfort, and Oracle says Southern Comfort always makes me think of Blanche from Streetcar Named Desire.
Well, yeah, there you go. Always dependent on the kindness of strangers.
What's funny is that the first thing I got just fucking blasted on was in Brazil. I think I must have been about 16. And it was on Chivas Regal. Chivas Regal Scotch whiskey. And to this day, I cannot drink Chivas Regal.
I kind of feel like that happens to a lot of people, like if they have like a really bad drunk their first time, which most people do.
Yeah, I can't drink it. I can drink any other kind of Scotch, but just not Chivas Regal.
Because it'll instantly, because they all have a very distinct,
I was like, oh man, I can't drink it. Yeah. I nearly almost start throwing up as soon as I smell it.
Yeah,
I threw up for fucking like a day. I had to have had alcohol poisoning. I mean,
probably.
I felt like I probably almost died. Because I remember slamming it. Getting so drunk, I just fucking slammed a glass of it.
And then after a while, you're drunk and you're not really paying attention anymore. So you're just like, whatever, I'm having more. And then
passed out and woke up. It was like the next day, and my fucking head was just boom, boom, boom.
Which reminds me, I meant to go to Dollar General and get some more aspirin today because all my aspirin is gone. I didn't realize I only had one left in the bottle, and it's gone now. But I didn't. John Smith said in Glasgow we have Buckfast, which is a sickly wine mixed with an energy drink, which has a devastating effect. Hence its nickname, Wreck the House Juice.
Buckfast.
Camp Guy also says, I knew a dude in high school, totally normal. He skipped school one day and went out drinking with another friend, ended up running from the cops and wrecking his car in downtown Atlanta, ran up a guy wire, and also puked in the cop car.
Damn.
That was quite a day.
Yep.
That was like some Ferris Bueller's Day Off shit, except like probably not as fun. Ending up with people getting arrested. I never had anything. I never did anything that bad. I've never been arrested, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. I don't even think I've become close. All the shit I did, I got away with.
Yeah.
That's right. But, so Zach is asking you for some advice. Hey, Tom, I think I pulled a muscle in both arms while lifting the other day.
I thought you beat
with, like, one muscle in both arms or both muscles in one arm?
I thought he was going to tell me he did beaten off.
Yeah, well, maybe we don't know. We're just going by what his story is.
What's he want?
Feels like bad tennis elbow on both arms and has for a few days. What do I do?
Keep lifting. It happened because you're weak. It's just that simple. Just to heal up, continue to lift. When you're weak and you first start lifting, you hurt yourself. All right. Reduce some of the weight a little bit. But your tendons will get fucking better at it, your joints and everything. I know you're still pretty young, so you don't have to worry about things like hormonal balancing or anything yet. You should still be hormonally in pretty good shape. I remember when I started picking up lifting, once I really started getting into it and started to fucking increase weight, I'd fucking be doing things like curls, and I could feel my forearms creaking from the bones not being quite strong enough to support that amount of weight. Like I could feel that they were kind of slightly flexing, and all that goes away in time. You know what I mean? When you're working bones, they'll fucking harden up, and tendons can get better. Your joints can build a little bit more fluid in them, but a lot of that has to do. Well, you have to be young. Being young helps. Being on HRT and other things helps also to keep your joints. Everything heals up so much faster, and your system's running so much better. I mean, you're adding the right kind of fuel to the fire to keep all that shit fucking healed up. So no, just if you're gonna have these little aches and pains, you're gonna pull muscles, just work through it. Just keep going. You'll break in. You know, it's like breaking in a set of shoes. You know. You'll just they'll it'll work itself out. Your body has a real good. If everything's normal, your body has a real amazing ability to heal up and to strengthen and to change things. You know, just you got some people that are just, when you have people, sometimes they're like, oh, I can't, I'll just hurt myself and my this, and oh no, I can't work out my back, and it's all bullshit. Okay. The problem with them is mental. They're mentally weak. They don't like, they see it as pain, so they quit. It's not pain though. Like once you get to a certain amount of strength, it only takes a couple months really. It starts to feel good. You start feeling like endorphins, and it doesn't feel like you're working that hard. You know, I said, man, I can't believe I got done with that session. I feel like I didn't really work that hard. And then I fucking added up. So I did 8 sets. 8 sets of fucking started 15, and then worked it out at 10. That's a lot, you know. But you don't feel it after a while. It just feels normal. And you're not even sore afterwards. It's like you didn't do anything, but you're getting bigger.
Mango says, the apple Jack Daniels really surprised me how good it was. Yeah. It is very good. It's like way better than it has any right to be. I mean, I'll defend Jack Daniels. I like regular Jack Daniels. I like a good Jack and Coke every now and again. But yeah, that apple one, I bought it like just not too long after it first came out. And I was like, oh, that sounds kind of good. But yeah, it was like way better than I expected. And the honey one is actually really good too. Didn't we actually buy some of that peanut whiskey? Did we ever buy that? Yeah. I remember that being pretty good.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Well,
I can't remember what brand it was because I was like, ooh, it's like that sounds.
It was just another
kind of gross, but also delicious at the same time. Because peanuts, I love peanuts. Yeah, and I love whiskey.
It was peanut butter.
How can that go wrong?
It was peanut butter.
Yeah.
I think that was the company you used to work for.
No. That it was a completely different.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, what I was doing with that is
because that was vodka, and it was PB&J vodka.
Okay. With some of that stuff, I was salting the rim of the glass and then putting.
Yeah, that was Van Gogh. That's where I used to work for. I don't even know if they make that anymore.
Yeah.
But when I was working there back in, I think it was 2013, Van Gogh Vodka used to make their big flavor when I first started working there that they were launching was PB&J. Because this was right when a bunch of vodkas were, obviously like flavored vodkas were like really, really big in the market then. So I think another brand, I can't remember what it was. Maybe it was Stoli, I don't remember what it was. But they had done like a peanut butter flavor and it was really successful. So they're like, ooh, let's do PB&J like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Now the thing about their Van Gogh, I will say their shit was a little bit expensive. But they used all real flavors. They didn't use like artificial flavors, so they actually tended to taste a lot better. They didn't have that like weird. I don't mind Pinnacle or anything like that because it's cheap. Depends on what flavor it is, though. Some of them are kind of like weird, chemically fake tasting. But Van Gogh, their stuff always tasted like really good and really robust. But like I said, they cost about twice as much as Pinnacle does, maybe more. But they did a PB&J one, and the thing about it, though, was that to me, that vodka, I didn't taste any jelly in there at all. And to do their signature cocktail, which we actually tried out because they had a bar in the office because it was a liquor company. And you would come in like on Friday afternoons and they're like, here's our new signature cocktail with this new flavor that we're doing. So we want everybody to try it to like get everybody's opinion. And when they did their signature cocktail, it was the peanut butter and jelly vodka. But then you had to put a little bit of raspberry vodka in it too, like to pump up the jelly flavor. Because I feel like the PB&J vodka, despite the J, didn't really have that much jelly flavor. It was mostly just peanut. It was good, but it mostly just tasted like peanut. But what we got at the store that time, if we ever got it, I remember thinking about getting it. That was whiskey. That wasn't vodka. It was peanut whiskey. And I remember thinking that sounded like really good because I know it might sound gross to some people, but
I don't think we got that.
Maybe we didn't. Maybe we just thought about it and then we just never got around to it because I think it was kind of expensive. So I was like, well, I don't know if I'm going to like it, so I don't want to pay all that money. You know what I mean? I should have maybe bought a little one.
When it came to the flavored whiskeys, the best ones I've had so far I think it was Jack Daniels. I think it was Jack Daniels apple and the Jack Daniels honey. Those two right there. Yeah. And they had another one. I think it was cinnamon. When it a cinnamon one, it was kind of like
maybe
it was kind of like I had it at the biker bar.
Oh well, I wasn't there, so what do you ask?
No, somebody bought me a shot of it. It's kind of like Fireball.
See, I can't drink. I love cinnamon in other contexts. I think I've said this before. Like, I love cinnamon toast, and I like cinnamon in my coffee and shit like that. But Fireball, like anything that's like super cinnamon, like Fireball or Red Hots or anything like that, I can't do it. It gives me like instant heartburn.
I like it.
Instant heartburn.
Yeah, I like Fireball.
I know you do.
Yeah.
David June said, I wanted to be a show-off at 16, and I chugged almost an entire fifth of SoCo at a party, woke up outside with puke in my boots.
What's
Nice.
SoCo? Never heard of that.
Zach says, when I broke up with my longtime girlfriend years ago, my diet for about 2 weeks consisted of nothing but Everclear, maybe a cheese doodle here and there.
Man, I remember one time.
Oh, my God.
Remember one time up in Mississippi, we were having a fucking party. This was right before I joined in the Army. All right, so it must have been 1990. We were over at my cousin, David Key's house. I call him a cousin. We're not really related. That's a weird thing about it in Mississippi is that you're going to be... There's all these cousins that you have that you're actually not related to. But if your family and his family and their family has been around, they've known each other for generations, they're cousins. Like if your dads are friends or your moms were friends, and it's just I guess it's just a different culture. So, but you treat each other as cousins. We made a punch bowl. All these girls were coming over. Everybody had graduated from high school, and some of them were going off to college and stuff. And we made a punch bowl, and we were fucking bought a thing of Everclear, and we were making a punch. Okay, and had a big old punch bowl. And the Everclear that we had came in a can, a giant can. Like, remember how the old Hawaiian Punch used to come in a can, and you took a fucking...
Oh, yeah.
Remember those things?
Yeah.
Remember the Hawaiian Punch cans? Yeah. This is fucking Mississippi fucking Everclear. It
You
came
want
in
a
a
Hawaiian
goddamn
Punch?
can. What was that? What happened?
I don't know. Oh, I guess it was Pokey.
Yeah, okay.
She was down there farting around.
So, took the damn can opener and put the 2 holes in it, poured the whole fucking can into that fucking punch bowl. That shit was fucking deadly. And there was a little bit of Everclear fucking caught on a rim, and fucking Joey Reuter was fucking standing next to me. His name was Reuter. Joey Reuter was standing next to me. And I said, I bet it, and I had a cigarette burning in my mouth. And I says, I bet you that'll touch fire. And he's like, yeah, it would. And I fucking hit it like that. And it fucking, the whole can expanded, and it became a rocket engine.
Whoops.
Because of all the fumes
Yeah.
inside the fucking can.
Yeah, that'll
And those
happen.
2 fucking jets fucking shot out like that, and that thing got hot as fuck, and it blew out a bit. It almost got basketball shaped. Like that. And whoa! It only went up for about 3 seconds. And I had to drop it. It was fucking smoking hot. And then fucking Joey laughed his ass off. And he goes, that became a goddamn bottle rocket. You know, I thought, yeah, fucking surprised me.
How do most dudes make it to adult age?
I don't know.
Doing
Lucky
dumb
it didn't
shit like
blow
that.
up.
That's what I'm just saying.
I felt it fucking flex.
I
in
was
my
gonna
hand.
say you might have looked like fucking Phantom
Yeah.
of the Opera had
Yeah.
things gone a little bit different.
Yeah. We were fucking nuts. A couple years before that, behind that same house, we had some woods out there, and a tree with a rope that hung hanging off a tree, and a little fucking hill there, and we would fucking jump off that hill and grab that rope and swing. We stole some gasoline from the lawnmower, because and we poured the gasoline on the fucking ground and set it on fire. We were swinging through the gasoline. And we were drunk.
Of
too.
course you were.
Of course,
Well,
and
yeah.
we were drunk. Yeah.
So you were
Well-
extra flammable.
Yeah. getting drunk out there and listening to Twisted Sister. Fucking right, yeah. Twisted Sister. Of all
I'm just gonna say two. I'm just gonna say
Yeah.
2 words: natural selection.
Yeah.
Natural selection.
Twisted Sister and fucking what was the other one that we were listening? Quiet Riot.
So you're not gonna take it.
Yeah, and the fucking
Anymore.
Quiet Riot and fucking we were listening.
What was that Quiet Riot song that was all the rage?
My mama's just off dancing now. I don't remember the fucking.
What the fuck was the name of that thing?
Mental health.
Come on, feel the noise.
Come on, feel the noise. Yeah,
Yeah,
we
that's
play
it.
that shit over and over again. Play that into the ground. Just that one album, and then we were playing fucking Def Leppard and Iron Maiden, and British Steel and fucking Screaming for Vengeance. We play that shit too. And so We had the wall of fire going, and we were swinging through it, drinking shit like Mad Dog and fucking crap like that. And the fucking fire, we did that a couple times. The fire would burn and then it would go out. And it was like some dude like Joey or fucking David. He'd go out there and he'd fucking make the wall of fire again, and he would touch fire to it. Well, we were swinging through it, and we noticed that the wall of fire went all the way to where the gas can was. And then the gas can caught on fire.
Uh-oh.
It was one of those plastic gas cans.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck, man. It fucking jumped up and went in a little spigot.
Yeah.
We called it a donkey dick. All right, it was a plastic donkey dick coming off the top of that fucking gas can. And it was 5 gallons of fucking gasoline. And it went up and it caught the tip of that fucking donkey dick on fire. And it started to burn. And it started to burn like a fucking, like a candle. Or, you know what I mean? Because the fumes were coming out.
Yeah.
And it was just going like that. And you could see that. And me and Joey and somebody else, I think it was Paul Moss, run up to it, and we're throwing dirt on it, trying to get it to go out. And fucking, it's going smaller, getting shorter and shorter and shorter. You know, the fucking doggy dick is it's melting as it's going like a fuse. And when it gets down like that, it gets to be about 3 inches long. We go, get the guy! We just scream and all run from that thing, and that thing fucking went up. Boom! You can feel the fucking shockwave come from it. Yeah, fucking crazy. And then burning gasoline went down the hill. And it caught part of the woods on fire, all right? But luckily it was too wet for it to go very far. We were worried because it wouldn't burn down David's house, but there was another house on the other side of the fucking woods, you know what I mean, a couple 100 yards, that house would have burned up. Yeah, that's how fucking crazy we were. I forgot the shotgun too, because we were out there with a fucking semi-auto 12-gauge shotgun, fucking swinging. Yeah,
of course you were.
Yeah, we fucking get the. I'm embarrassed about this shit.
Are you? Oh, this is getting good.
Yeah.
Let's hear some more embarrassing stories.
It was Indiana Jones stuff. The fucking the rope. We had the end of the rope tied in a fucking little loop, so you could jump up on it and you could grab it and put your foot in it and start swinging. All right, and you throw somebody the shotgun, and it was David's dad's fucking duck gun, you know, for hunting ducks. So it had like a 26-inch fucking full choke fucking barrel on it. You know, it was a fucking big old long semi-auto shotgun. Probably had about 5 rounds in it, 4 or 5 rounds in the, you know, them tubular magazine, and another one in chamber. We'd load that bitch all up, and you start swinging on it. And somebody throw you the shotgun, and as you're swinging, you're trying to shoot a target. So we'd have targets out there. Just throw a can out there. You're swinging and trying to shoot it at the same time while you drop through a wall of fire. Evil Knievel shit. Yeah, I forgot all about that crap.
Ultimately, you know, like,
I don't know how we live.
Thank God for the internet, because
That's the way it is. Mississippi, man.
At least now people are just mostly getting drunk in their own houses
Yeah.
and just like playing video games and stuff. So they're not like out like causing massive destruction or killing innocent people.
Yeah, it wasn't
burning down entire like rainforests.
Yeah, it wasn't buckshot. It was birdshot. You know, so we grew up around it. We knew what we were doing. That's why we were good with guns. But it was just birdshot. You know, it's all the shit that your dad didn't shoot up. We didn't pay for any of this shit. We'd fucking steal it from our dads. But it wasn't considered stealing, really. Because your dad didn't care if you took it or not. It's that kind of stuff. Because it was just cheap stuff laying around. It was stuff left over from hunting expeditions and shit. Because they'd go out and get all these ducks. He had a duck machine that once you clean the ducks, you could throw them in there and it would tumble them and fucking tear all the feathers off those dead ducks. And you could have a fucking dozens and dozens of fucking ducks fucking ready to go. Just in a few minutes, throwing them to that thing. It's pretty neat. Dogs and shit. And he had a nice house, fucking 2-story house and fucking deck and everything, you know. His dad had a lot of money. But it was just crazy. That's the kind of crazy shit you did in Mississippi.
SoCo is Southern Comfort, by the way.
Okay, so he's talking about. In a minute, they're saying bring out the fucking 40s and shit. They're in there chilling. And I'm going to bring them out here in a minute. When I get done with this, I got 2 cans of Colt 45. They're not 40 ounces, I don't think. They're smaller than that. One of them is standard Colt 45, and the other one is Colt 45 High Gravity, which is the deluxe shit. Okay.
That name cracks me up.
Yeah. So I'm going to start off with the standard, and I'm going to tell you what I think. And then when I get done with that, if I can drink it all, we'll see. We'll see how. I don't know. It may not be any good. Then I'll go get that High Gravity, and I'll drink that. I'll let Jenny taste some, see if she likes it.
Yeah.
But
like I said, I don't remember what it tasted like before, so I'm not going to be a big help, I don't think. Greenspark said, I used to make apple pie shots in the fall using Everclear. It tastes just like spicy apple pie.
Yeah.
That actually sounds kind of good.
For you people who don't know what Everclear is, here in the United States, it's the American equivalent of what we had in Brazil called cachaça, or pinga, which is pure sugarcane alcohol. But Everclear here, I don't think it's made with sugarcane. It's probably made with wheat or something, grains of some sort. Might just be made with sugar. I don't know. But it's 190 proof, or at least it used to be when I was a kid. It was damn near pure. Damn near pure. You could run a Brazilian car off of it, because Brazil had a special carburation in their cars, and they ran alcohol out of sugarcane instead of gasoline. They had gasoline cars, but most cars were alcohol. And you could take cachaça or pinga and pour it right in the tank, and fucking it'd run. It has no flavor. It's like drinking liquid heat. It's not pleasant, really.
Well, I kind of feel like I remember a thing that a lot of people did when I was a teenager was they would soak watermelon in Everclear. Yeah. And then eat them like that, because it made the Everclear more palatable. Like, you could get drunk, but the watermelon kind of tasted nice.
Kind of what we did with it is you just make punch. And if you want a high yield, a bunch of alcoholic drinks, you could just put a can of Everclear in it, and it would make all that fucking punch, 5 gallons of it, fucking strong as hell. Matter of fact, you really didn't want to pour all the can in it. Maybe like 1/3 the can. That's the way I remember. Because if you put the whole can in it, which we did that too, but if you put the whole can in it, sometimes you couldn't drink it. That's how fucking strong it was. It didn't have it didn't have much of a taste at all. It just tasted very dry. Extremely dry. Wasn't very pleasant. Effective, though, and cheap. I think that
that's why it's probably was a thing for so long. It's like, it doesn't have to taste good if it fucks you up. Because after a few drinks, you don't give a shit what it tastes like. You just want more of that.
Moonshine is similar. Shine, I'm just going to call it Shine, because that's what we call it. Shine was actually more pleasant to drink, and you could actually make Shine pretty good. Some dudes drank it straight. I don't know why you would, but imagine
to prove how hardcore you are.
Imagine you take vodka and you put vodka on steroids. Put that shit on bull steroids. All right. And that's what Shine is like. But they got companies out there now making Shine that's fucking like gourmet Shine that's got flavors and, it'd be pretty good.
Well, the thing about it is that, I mean, the alcohol market is fucking massive, It's like there's fucking, you buy craft cocktails in bottles now. They got all kind of like artisan beers and all that kind of stuff. Which, like I said, that's kind of cool. It's kind of going more toward, and it's just like food. It's, everybody has a more refined palate now. It's like everybody's, like back in the old days, you just like ate or drank whatever swill you were served because you didn't know any better, but.
I mean, I can understand it because, moonshine was like uniquely American. So if you're going to make moonshine, if you're going to make an American drink, why not do moonshine? It's Prohibition era alcohol. It was minimalist back in the day. They were just trying to get the job done. But why not flavor it now? That Prohibition's over. Flavor it, shit. But
make it taste good.
Make it taste good, and then make it try to keep it in the spirit of moonshine.
Camp Guy said, I forget what they call those crank out windows. Somebody said casement windows. I was thinking jalousie windows. That's the ones that kind of like go out like that, right? I thought.
I don't know. Valances?
No, that's something else.
It's a casement window, I think it would go.
Slasher Fred said, one of these days you should review the silent horror classic, The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari.
It's boring. I've watched it. It's a boring movie.
I didn't find it boring.
I
like
boring.
silent movies, actually. We should maybe cover some more of those.
Visually, it's great.
Yeah.
It has really good artwork in it, or the sets, the scenes, the makeup. It looks really cool. But I remember it being kind of long and boring. Going like, come on, get to the point. Because the subject matter isn't very exciting by today's standards. But I imagine back in the day, that movie was awesome to see.
Well, yeah. Zach said, I found some delicious mint Moose Tracks ice cream. And oh my God, you guys have to try it. That actually does sound really good.
Yeah, I like Moose Tracks.
I mean, yeah, Moose Tracks is good. And honestly, mint chocolate chip is probably my favorite. I love mint chocolate chip and I love peppermint ice cream, which you can usually only get around Christmas time. Maybe you can get it all year round nowadays. But I kind of feel like I used to get excited when it was Christmas and I could get peppermint ice cream. I like mint anything, to be honest with you. Especially like mint chocolate, all of that. I love that shit. Let's see. They're talking about Tom. John Smith said, Tom's stories make me wonder how many young men's last words are watch this. That's what I mean. It's just kind of like the whole redneck thing, like, here, hold my beer. And then, like, you know. As I said, we have the Darwin Awards for a reason. I don't really know how most dudes even, like, survive into adulthood doing shit like that. You know? Oh, look at that. Look, he even got... We even found this silver tray. He comes up earlier and he's all excited. He's like, look, I found this in the fucking kitchen.
No, this is in the spirit
shit.
of my boy Billy
It's
Dee.
classy shit.
It's this, for those of you who are not Americans, you would not know that Billy Dee Williams was the fucking traditional spokesman for fucking Colt 45 beer.
I even downloaded a picture to put up on Instagram of him later
right.
when I put this show up on Instagram.
He was the epitome of fucking class and style. And he would go on about in the commercials how fucking smooth, how great Colt 45 was. So today will be my first taste test as an adult, a man who has reached maturity and wisdom. I will Colt 45. Someday you too will join with us in the clouds in Bespin City. So we're gonna.
Now you got that at Circle K, yes? That one.
This one is Circle K.
You got that at Circle K. So you can
Every
still
Circle
get this
K.
everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean we live where we live. It's pretty rural, and we have literally two. It's like New York City with Starbucks, but with us it's Circle K. There's like nothing farms, and then it's Circle K here.
Yeah.
Circle K, literally a catty corner across the street. There's two.
Okay.
And then across the street over there is like Publix and a pizza place and stuff. Mango says wisdom, and you're drinking Colt 45. See, exactly.
Oh no, we're gonna test.
Do it. Look how fancy it looks. Like, look,
test
if
this
you
shit.
didn't see the can next to it, you could like to.
45.
Call us Colt 45 in case you need him as like a spokesperson or something.
Your first Caucasian spokesman.
Your first Caucasian spokesman.
Yeah. Okay, we're gonna try this. Now I have to fucking put this into context, okay? The competition is fucking Budweiser and Coors and all that, okay? It is not. It's competing against what we would call piss water beers. The price is the same, basically. So we're gonna see.
Oh, the moment of truth. Are you ready to sell out Han Solo? Or what?
Hold on one second. That's good.
Is it?
Yeah, that's good. It's like a Weizen. Try it. It's good.
Like I said, I'm not a big beer connoisseur.
It kind of has a dusty, dry smell, but
ooh, it smells.
It smells.
It's not bad, but it feels weird.
Just there's nothing wrong with that.
No, that's all right.
There's nothing wrong with that. No, there's nothing wrong with that.
No, that's all right. It was a little weird at first. I was kind of like, like I said, I'm not a big beer connoisseur. But yeah, there's
that's a lot better than Budweiser.
That's actually, yeah, oh yeah.
That's a lot better.
Oh yeah, I'll give you that.
It's like it's like a German Weizen. The weight is about the same. It's not as sweet as a Weizen. But no, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, that's actually not bad. I don't know if I would like drink it all the time, but if somebody had it, like I wouldn't be offended or nothing. It's all right.
There's nothing wrong with that.
It helps that it's like in the frosty mug.
Yeah.
Because he prepared for this shit.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if you're going to get that excited about doing this kind of stuff, and he comes up and he's all excited, he's like, look, I found this tray, and it's like, I put the mug in the freezer and everything like that. I'm like, well, shit, maybe we should do this every week. That'd be super fun.
And that was
But try
cheap.
different ones out.
That was cheap, like $1 or something.
Camp Guy said, what's the alcohol percentage on that?
I can't read it on my gun. It's probably a little bit more than beer.
5.6.
5.6.
Yep.
Which I don't know how that...
Thank you, Victor.
What do you say?
Girls drinking beer with little heart eyes.
There's nothing wrong with this. This is fucking decent.
Yeah, I mean, I've had shittier tasting beers that were like a lot more expensive than that. So
I've had craft beers that aren't quite that enjoyable.
Well, the thing about craft beers is that, I mean, some people really, really like certain flavors and some people don't like those flavors. So I'm just kind of like, there's like a wide variety of stuff. Like I said, I'm more like a vanilla, chocolate, coffee, that kind of thing. So if you give me something else that is kind of like a different kind of vibe, I'm probably not going to be down with it. But that's all right. I was a little weirded out at first. Like I smelled it and I was just kind of like,
It smells a little dusty, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's
a
like
little
you're
bit.
Smelling something that's
It's not bad, but it's like odd. It's odd.
You expect it to be dry and...
Mango said that's pretty strong for a beer. 5.6%.
Yeah.
It is.
And look, I gotta say
that's not. It's not bad at all.
That doesn't taste cheap. It doesn't taste cheap at all. It tastes like a decent craft Weizen. So my memory was correct. I remembered liking it a lot more up in the barracks. I remembered liking it a lot more than Budweiser and Coors and standard piss water brands of beers. And it stands. It's good. Now I don't know what they did to it to make it taste that way. It's probably artificial. I don't know. It's a malt liquor. It's probably not brewed, but look, here's the deal.
Look at my blind.
Those piss water beers, maybe they're probably not brewed either. It's that shit that fucking pouring out of a factory.
Somebody just pissed in a bottle.
They pissed in a bottle and go, here it is.
And then slap a cap on it. Here you go, suckers.
No, that's decent. I'd drink that.
Yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad at all.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be gross and it was going to be like a lot of fun, but no. That's actually not bad.
That's decent.
Next time we should get Budweiser, and then we can shit on it.
Yeah.
Although that might be better.
Budweiser was terrible. It's a lot better than Bud. Try that again. That's a lot better.
You know what we should do one week? One week we should do like shitty white sports fans beers, and so we should do like all Bud and Coors and stuff like that, and we'll see if they're as bad as we remember.
There ain't nothing wrong with that.
No, not at all. It has a little bit... Are y'all going to think I'm crazy if I say this? It has like a little bit of like a corn taste on the back end. Is that weird? Like almost like popcorn.
Yeah. I see what you're talking about.
Like to me, I don't know if that's like... But it tastes not exactly like popcorn, but I can't really get closer than that. It's like a little bit of popcorn kind of vibe on the back end. Which, like, I'm not mad about it.
It's decent.
That is pretty decent. I would actually probably drink that again, to be honest with you.
Yeah, well, you have to factor in how cheap that was. That was $1 something. That was the same price.
No way.
Yeah, that was the same price.
Don't tell me that. I'm going to be driving up to the fucking Circle K and get some Colt 45.
I got the high gravity next. Because the high gravity is supposed to be better.
They'd be like, you're the only white girl in fucking Lake County coming in here.
Like Marge was like, oh, you taste testing the shit. Like, yeah. But
that's all right, though.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No.
It's probably the reason why it wasn't respected is there's something about the brewing process. There's probably artificial in some way.
Sure.
But hey, who gives a shit? It tastes good, and you're getting fucking drunk off of it, and that is a pretty good approximation of a German Weizen.
Yeah,
what the Germans would call a white beer.
Yeah, not bad at all.
It's not bitter. It's a smooth beer. It's not sweet. Some Weizens are a lot sweeter than that. It's like almost drinking like sugary bread. But it's just like drinking a piece of bread.
Which
it's probably
nothing
not
wrong with that.
They're calling it malt liquor, so I don't really know the process. It's not beer. It's a beer-like product. But there's nothing wrong with that.
No, that's perfectly fine.
Not for the price. No.
Greenspark says Lagunitas does a really great coffee stout. See, I like that kind of stuff. Also makes a great sour cherry beer called Cherry Jane. That also sounds good. Condavatsan says now drink Zima. You know what?
I tried to find it, man. They didn't have it.
I don't think they make it. Honestly, it's funny because after we did a show about that, or we talked about it, I think, where we mentioned it. Like, I have a subscription on YouTube to a channel that talks about like retro food and all that kind of stuff, and they put up a video about Zima, and I put it in my watch later, but I haven't watched it yet because I was like, oh my god, we were just like talking about that. Strawdog78 said, when I was in Antarctica, the only beer they had was this New Zealand beer called Canterbury Draft, heinous stuff. So
you know what they had next to this? Oh, no, not this one, but the high gravity version, Foster's.
Australian beer.
Yeah, Australian beer. We used to get it in the army when I was up in Egypt. Foster's.
I remember the commercials for that in the 90s.
And we liked it. We liked it.
I don't think I've ever had Foster's.
I gotta say though, fucking.
Not that I remember. Like I said, I'm not a big beer person.
Billy Dee didn't let me down.
Well, you should call him and tell him.
I'm gonna call Billy.
Thank you for telling me about Colt 45, Billy Dee Williams.
Now, who makes that? Is it Bush?
Do you really think I can see that?
Miller?
Do you really think I can see that? Yeah, I don't know. We might have to like Google that shit.
Yeah, somebody can Google it. Somebody please Google that. Who makes Colt 45?
I don't even think it says on there.
It's going to be one of the major manufacturers. It's probably Bud, Anheuser-Busch.
Yeah, you would think, because honestly, like everything, like all the sodas and beers and stuff are owned by like two companies. So.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Ooh. What the fuck does that say? Herdeman Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Okay. So it's its own company.
It's G. It looks like Herdeman. Okay. Man, I need better glasses.
All right. All right. So
also it says please recycle.
My verdict on this is for bottom of the barrel, low end price range. This is good. This is good. This is real good.
Yeah, that's not bad at all. Like if I was down to my last $2 and just needed some beer, like for whatever reason, that's no shame.
Right. I'd rather have that than Budweiser. Or Coors.
I would as well.
Would I take this over Yinling? No, I'd rather take a Yinling.
Well, yeah.
But Yinling's more expensive.
Yeah.
But that's acceptable.
Let's see. Hold on. Somebody said, Gramthars says Zima is what you fed dumb college girls hoping it would lead to romance time, pretty much. Even though that shit, like, even back in the day, like I tried it because I kept seeing the commercials, and I'm just like, what the fuck? I gotta try this out.
I told my Zima story.
It's not good. It's not good.
I told my Zima story. If you guys want me to tell the Zima story again, I'll tell it again. But I just got back from Korea and we saw Zima and fucking, I didn't know. We were drinking. It almost got my man card revoked. Okay, me and another guy.
The Tom also got his almost got his man card revoked.
Yeah, they took the Zima from us and gave us gin and tonic. Wynn gave us gin and tonic. Says drink that. I don't fucking see you drinking that bullshit.
Yeah, but I remember you telling this story because I laughed at you and I said they took away your Zima and replaced it with gin and tonic, like that was somehow manlier. Okay.
Well, it's a similar taste. Yeah, gin and tonic. Yeah, gin and tonic. That's an old man drink.
Well, like I said, is that really? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's an old man drink. You can drink that. You can drink that, and it's a similar flavor. Similar. It's lemony, clear and lemony. Zima's really just Sprite with malt liquor.
Yeah, that's what it tasted like to me when I tried it.
Gin and tonic is that basically, just with less sugar. That's all.
Yeah, I like. You know what? Every now and then I get in the mood for gin and tonic, but I think as I've mentioned, they're very good, but they're very, very sour. Like, so I can really only drink one or two of them, and then I'm like, yeah, I gotta move to something else. Otherwise, I absolutely will throw up. Like if I drink more than two of them. Let's see. Zach says, are there any lemon-based baked goods you like? I think that's my other favorite flavor for sweet things. Honestly, any baked lemon anything, lemon bars, cookies, lemon cake, I will eat any of that stuff.
Key lime pie.
Yummy. Yeah, I also really like, I mean, to me...
I got a lemon tree out there growing. I got one lemon off of it so far, but there's 20 or 30 lemons sitting on that tree. I can't put it in the ground until the summer's over.
I mean, lemon meringue pie, I'll eat that too. Holy shit. I like lemon is actually one of my favorite flavors too. I'm really into mint stuff. I really like vanilla stuff. But yeah, lemon's good too. I like lemon anything. Yeah, I mean, I've ordered craft beer because sometimes if we go to like Will's Pub or something like that, and they have like different flavors, or like the Falcon or something where they don't have a liquor license. Although Will's Pub has a liquor license now. But, you know, so I'll try and I was like, what kind of beers you got? Like, what kind of flavors you got? And like sometimes, like some of them are really good, but like I said, that Hershey's one that I got, like the chocolate one, that was surprisingly good. I got like a bunch of those.
Yeah.
But I've had some that were significantly less tasty than that.
That's what I was saying. You could go up to the Falcon with some of those craft beers and put this in the mix and not tell anybody what it was. They wouldn't know.
Ooh, that would be fun if you did like a blind taste test. Let's do a hipster beer snob blind taste test. Yeah. I'm sure somebody's done that on the internet somewhere, have they not?
It's honky prejudice against the damn fucking Colt 45. There's nothing wrong with that. The beer snobs must not like the shit because it's technically not beer. But it is a beer-like product.
It's a beer-like product.
And I'd rather have this. I'm just going to say it again, man. I'd rather have that than fucking Budweiser, Coors, or Busch, or any of the piss waters.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I don't mind it.
It's not as fine as a stout or a true German Weizen or something. But, man, for the money, no, I'd take that.
Victor says, every time I mention Foster's to Australians, they remind me that it's not even sold in Australia.
It's not sold in Australia? Okay. No. It's an export model. Yeah.
That's what's like, well, that's what's funny to me. I kind of feel like, I think I've told you guys this before, but one of the funniest things that I've ever seen was when, I guess, like in Germany, like I know because Sandra used to be here and she was like from Germany, so she used to tell us. But they have this thing in the grocery store, like in the summer or whatever, and they do like American products, and like some of the stuff is like okay, like it's like okay, that's passable. But some of the stuff they like brand as like American food is like hilarious. Yeah. Especially like the hot dogs in cans. I'm like, we don't do that. We don't do that. But you know what I mean? So. But I just thought that was funny. So the perception that other countries have about, I don't know, that always like, that kind of shit like always amuses me. G Heileman. Okay, so I couldn't see it. It's a very condensed font, and you know, I have my glasses on, but still, if it's like really small font, I still can't like see all the letters. Glenn Little said, my neighbor pissed into a wine bottle and gave it to a friend of ours. He sipped it and said, yeah, that's strong wine. Ew. Dude, that's nasty. Kanavatsan said, Steven Seagal's lightning bolt energy. Man, you know what? If we could find the Steven Seagal stuff, we would taste test that on the show too. Yeah, that's long gone. But the thing about it though is that I think it was on what's that fucking show? The guy that does Monster Madness, that James guy. But they did a show, and he is another guy that's on there all the time, and he's like a big Steven Seagal fan, and he actually bought unopened cans of Steven Seagal's energy drinks from, I don't even know how old they were, because this video came out like just a few years ago, and the energy drinks have been gone since the 90s as far as I know. So he had just bought them, so he like taste tested them on the show, and he's like, yeah, they kind of tasted like ass. Victor said, do y'all remember putting Jolly Ranchers in Zimas? I remember that when that was a thing. And let's see. Holy Parish of Doom, Colt 45, introduced by National Brewing Company in the spring of 1963. Through a series of mergers and acquisitions, the National Brewing Company and its brands are today owned by the Pabst Brewing Company. So, okay, so technically Colt 45 is the same company that does PBR. Because it's Pabst, right?
It's Pabst? Okay.
It didn't start out as Pabst, but it got bought out by that company like later on. What is she complaining about? Every time you walk up to Pookie, she's like, brr, brr, brr. She's always doing that kind of fucking shit. I don't know. She's yelling at us. Tequiza, the tequila beer from the 90s. I remember that. I didn't have any because I don't like tequila, but I remember the commercials for that. And then they're talking about lemon squares. God damn, that sounds good. Lemon. Louis says, keep drinking. Jenny, from what I remember, it gets better.
Round 2, fight.
And look, he brought a fucking wine glass. He's like, well, because this is the fancy one.
This is the fancy one.
He said. Ooh, it went all blurry. Why did we go blurry?
I don't know.
Why did we go blurry? There we go. Shelby says, ooh, this is a great idea. You should do a Halloween taste test of all the pumpkin and Halloween drinks.
Okay, we can do something like
shit, that's a good idea. We probably need to start planning that like ahead, because I always feel like I want to do something really cool for Halloween because it's my very favorite. But then like by the time it's like, oh shit, it's like almost Halloween, and it's like I just run out of time, you know what I mean? But that's actually a great idea. I'm gonna write that down.
This is Colt 45 high gravity. Whatever that means.
High gravity.
It
like
gets
I said,
you lower to the ground.
It gets you lower to the ground.
Makes you heavier.
That's what we determined.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to write it down in here. We're going to do Halloween drinks taste test. That's a great fucking
high gravity. Okay, it's not... Oh, it's a little bit darker.
Okay, I gotcha.
It's a little bit darker.
It is.
Billy Dee, don't let me down, man.
Well, I don't think we can blame Billy Dee for this if it's not good, because he wasn't around. He wasn't the spokesman for the stuff. So don't lay this at Billy Dee's feet.
No, Billy Dee fucking...
It might be good, though.
He did me right on the first one.
Smell it. Be fancy.
Okay.
Swirl it around, kind of. I know that face. Wait, you like it? It's good, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's good. Smells better.
It does, actually. It doesn't have that weird... Like I said, the smell on Colt 45 is not bad. It's weird. This doesn't really have it. It's very mild.
Yeah.
All right. Not a huge amount of difference. I will say that
there
it's
is
not...
a difference.
There is, but...
It's not as sweet.
It's not as distinctive
as
the original.
It's slightly drier.
I will say that. Yeah.
It's slightly drier. It's a little bit more like a fucking darker lager. Almost kind of like a Yinling.
A little bit, yeah.
Or a Sam Adams. A little bit like a Sam Adams.
Yeah.
It's heavier. It doesn't have that piss water consistency. It's a little bit heavier. And it's darker. It's going away from Weizen, where the sweeter elements, going more towards a heavier, drier body, like a lager.
Yeah,
it's good. It's good.
Definitely drier.
It's drier,
but it's not, like I said, it doesn't have as forward a flavor as the original Colt 45. And I'm not saying that Colt 45 has a real forward flavor, but it doesn't have the same.
The smell's a lot better.
Yeah, it smells a lot like milder. It's not, but like I said, it's not as distinctive a flavor. I feel like, but it's good though.
Almost kind of like, almost kind of like a Yinling fucking black and tan, almost. What is it? It's called almost.
Maybe.
Not
I haven't had one of those in a while.
It's not that dark. It's good.
Camp Guy said Coors used to be considered an exclusive brand because it was only sold in the Rockies. President Gerald Ford used to drink Coors. There you go. What are you doing, Pookie? She's playing with her snowman. Does she? Is there enough treats in there? Is she getting anything out of there?
Any treats coming out?
Is any treats coming out? There's a big box of treats right there if you want to refill them.
She's shaking her head.
She's like, there's nobody in there. There you go. It's her little snowman. She's like, there's treats in there, but she's not hitting it hard enough for them to come out, I guess. John Smith said, Foster's not being sold in Australia. It's like when people discover Newcastle Brown Ale isn't made in Newcastle. And Stradog78 said, it's like Hawaiian pizza. I never had pineapple on my pizza until I left Hawaii.
We call it Hawaiian because it has that. The Hawaii doesn't have it.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I do too.
There's a huge fight, though.
It's not my favorite, but I'm not going to say no.
I make it all the time.
It's good. I think it's good.
And if you don't have ham, you can use fucking bacon bits.
Yeah, that works too.
Use that too. It's really good.
That's what I mean. It's just, I don't know. It's just kind of like, to me, the fight between, thin crust or regular crust or like deep dish. I'm like, what? Why are we fighting? It's all good.
The Dagos are going to be like, fucking, but pineapple does not belong on a pizza. And I'm going to say, yeah, I guess it doesn't. It really doesn't belong on a pizza. But when you're having Hawaiian pizza,
I'm not mad.
You're not looking at it that way. It's something else.
Does it just taste good? Yeah, it tastes good.
It just tastes good.
I'm not worried about it.
It just tastes good.
Now, I will say that in the UK, when I was there, and this is back in the 90s and early 2000s, so I don't know if you guys are still doing this nowadays, but it wasn't a pizza place, but I was in a grocery store, and they had frozen pizzas, and they had regular ass flavors like, just cheese and pepperoni and stuff like that. And then they had one that had corn niblets on it. And I'm looking at it going, what the fuck kind of freak puts corn niblets on a pizza? I mean, it's not that weird when you think about it, but it's like, I was really weirded out. I'm like,
Brazil does it a lot.
Yeah, I guess.
And they'll also put fucking peas on it. But Brazil didn't invent pizza, okay?
I mean, I guess you can put whatever you want on there.
Brazil has Italians in it. But the pizza thing was a response to what was happening in the United States, not so much an Italy thing. But they're not bastardized. The problem with Brazilian pizza is that their cooking temperature is too low. It's doughy and it sucks. Italians would hate it. Real Italian pizza is more like focaccia anyway. What we would call focaccia a lot of times.
Which, man, I don't have a problem with that either. That's also yummy.
American pizza.
I'll eat it all. I don't care.
Thing.
I don't care. It's all good.
The worst I've ever heard is Japanese pizza. I mean, they'll put fucking octopus ink on a fucking pizza instead of fucking tomato sauce, and they will totally bastardize pizza. Just terrible.
I mean, the thing about
sliced potatoes on a pizza.
Okay, no, I don't. That doesn't sound like that bad an idea.
No, it doesn't belong there.
I mean, to be starch on starch.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I like potatoes. But the thing about it is that pizza as a concept, if you want to like stretch out and you'd be like, well, a lot of cultures have stuff that is obviously not pizza, but it's just we're going to put stuff on a bread product, like whether it's naan or whether it's a tortilla or whatever the fuck. But it's kind of, if you really want to look at it that way, kind of the same thing. So I don't know. I just kind of feel like all the possibilities are open. So I'm not going to get into the whole thing. It's like, is this pizza? Is this not pizza? I'm like, well, does it taste good, though? If it tastes good, then fine. Put whatever the fuck you want on there. If it doesn't taste good, then yeah, it's a stupid idea. That's pretty much, that's my only thing. That's my only thing. I did think the corn on the pizza was weird, though. But that was just because I had never seen that. And, like, I'm looking at it in the frozen pizza section. I'm like, you guys this is popular enough that people are buying a frozen pizza that has corn niblets on it. I was like, that's strange. I'm sure it didn't taste bad because corn's good, but I don't know. It just seemed like a little bit weird to me. That's all.
Camp guy's giving us information about gravity. That might fucking help us. Yes, I remember Billy beer. That was fucking...
That came out in the 70s, right? Like
that was Jimmy Carter's friends, Jimmy Carter's brother's fucking beer.
That's right. I remember that. That was briefly a flash in the pan thing. Gramthars said, if you travel the world, the most ubiquitous beer is Heineken. It's all over the U.S., Europe, Asia, and South Africa. Yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah, and Heineken sucks. Never liked that shit.
I don't... You know what? I don't know if I've ever had Heineken, actually.
It's a cheap piss water Heineken. It's a cheap piss water lager. I gotta say it's better than Coors and better than Budweiser. But there isn't any difference between, say, Heineken and Foster's. From what I remember, about the same. There's nothing special about Heineken.
Yeah, like I said, I don't think I've ever had it. But you know, I was just never a big beer person.
Yeah. There are American craft beers that would blow Heineken away.
I've had some really, honestly, lately, like I said, I'm not really, they have really, really good American beers.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I'm more into kind of, like I said, I like chocolate beers, I like, coffee stouts, I like pumpkin ale, I like all that kind of stuff. I like kind of fall, dark kind of flavors. I like that kind of stuff. But
yeah, you don't want to stereotype American beers by the corporations. Like a corporations like this, okay? We have microbreweries that are pretty big, doing stuff in local areas. You can order anything anywhere. They got some fucking fantastic American beers, but you got to know the company. You got to know exactly what it is that you want to order. It's got to fit you and what you're looking for. They got guys that are fucking really into the shit. It's just that you might not be able to get that at a national level. The United States is fucking huge.
Yeah, so it might be more like a local.
It might be something more local, right?
Well, because what I was saying was that when I was in last year, when I went to St. Augustine, like for a week, they have it's not a brewery, but they actually make gin and vodka and maybe rum. I can't remember, but they have like a big like distillery, and they have their own liquor brands, and you can do like a tour of the distillery, and you can like buy all their stuff. And I was actually going to do that, but I didn't have time. I wasn't there long enough. I kind of like went past it like when I was on the tour or whatever, and I was kind of like, oh, I need to come back here and like buy some of the stuff, because it'd be really cool to like get some liquor that was like made locally. I mean, St. Augustine is what, like 50 miles from here? So I was like, ooh, I want to taste some gin and some vodka that was just made like right there. I thought that would be really cool, but I just didn't have time to do it. But like maybe next time I go, I'll do it. But I just thought that was kind of like awesome that they do that. So like I said, it's not even like a brewery.
Okay, so Colt, an acceptable product within its price range, competitive
for as cheap as that is.
You're right. Yeah.
I mean, how much was the high gravity?
Oh, like $1.33 or something like that.
Not bad at all.
Yeah.
I've paid more than that for coffee drinks of that size. So
nothing wrong with that at all.
I think you know what? I think I like the original one better though.
The original one is more like a Weizen. If you guys are fucking beer snobs, this one is more like a decent brown ale. Yeah, or like a lager.
That one's good too, but it's not. It doesn't like. It's not, like I said, it's not as distinctive.
Yeah, it ends up...
Like the first one like had kind of a distinctive flavor. Right. That one was kind of like good, but it's like
all
more
the rest of them.
Generic. Like, I've had other ones that tasted like that. It's good, but it's not like anything to
This is what you want to drink if you want to drink a Colt 45 that's kind of like a Sam Adams. Okay. That'd be a good way to be, That's cheaper than Sam Adams, though.
Yeah.
But
well, at least we know that. If we ever like get a hankering,
then there you go.
It's like, hey, we need some beer. Because every now and then, like we're walking around Sam's or the grocery store, like let's get like a little. We usually just buy a little 6-pack. I don't ever buy like a big huge thing, but sometimes I'll get, because like I said, I'm not a big beer person. We're more vodka, rum, tequila.
Yeah.
kind of people. But yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
We live in a land of plenty, where even the very poor can get their hands on some decent shit. That's decent.
But you know what? That kind of makes me happy though, because I was thinking that shit was going to be like swill.
No.
And it's not. It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
That's pretty good. And especially like as cheap as this, I'm like, well, that makes me happy that at least people that only have like $1 and they're like, look, I just want some goddamn beer.
Yeah.
At least you get something that's like halfway drinkable.
Yeah, yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, I'd much rather have that, like I said, than fucking standard Budweiser, Coors, or Michelob, or that fucking crap. That's a much better flavor. That tastes like a higher end beer. It
does actually. I'm gonna give it that much.
The only reason why it's cheaper is the way that they're producing that is not the way you do a traditional beer. So, but the consumer of this doesn't care about the manufacturing process, whether it's traditional or not.
Like I said, does it taste good? Is it like cost effective?
It's just they're able to replicate a higher end beer using technologies and still keep the price low.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that.
So I'm saying, look, my broke ass. If I just had $1 or $2 and I just wanted some, I'd be drinking that. There's nothing wrong with that at all.
Right.
That kind of like gives me hope for the future.
And you got two selections. You can have something like a Weizen or something more kind of like a lager.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and we've talked about this before, like in not so much in relation to alcohol, but in relation to food, is that I kind of feel like back in the day, because we grew up in like the 70s and stuff like that, but back in the day, like, you know, there wasn't a lot of choice. So you just kind of, and people didn't have like real refined palates. We didn't have the internet. You didn't know about all of this other kind of like food around the world and shit like that. So people weren't as sophisticated. Yeah. So I kind of feel like they could just like feed you whatever fucking swill, you know, and you would just like take it and you just be like, yeah, this is good, because you didn't have anything to compare it to.
Yeah.
Whereas nowadays, thankfully, you can't really get away with that anymore. Like you try to like pass off some like shitty like subpar kind of crap.
It doesn't work now.
And nowadays people be like, nah. Yeah. You can get like way better shit than that for the same price, and they're not gonna like stand for it. Which, like I said, I think that's better. I think that's good. In
the case of Colt, of course, from the very beginning of a Colt, it was a black clientele. That's who was buying. I see why they were buying. Okay, if the original Colt that I drank tasted like the way I remembered it, basically in the early '90s, and it was probably tasted that way in the '70s too. Which, if you have a limited income, that's the way I would definitely go.
Well, yeah.
But no. So, the buyer of today, African American, and does something like this have a place in today's market? Could you get a beer that tastes like that for that price? Probably not at your local corner store in a city, in an urban environment. So, yeah, you'd get this. It makes perfect sense. This is what you would get. I'm trying to think of anything for around $1.33 that tastes like that. And I don't think so.
Yeah, maybe not. I mean...
No. So that's what you would buy. And you have a generational clientele. People growing up on that. People's dads drinking that. So yeah, that's why that exists. But it makes sense. That's a good product. For like $1.30 something, hell yeah.
I mean, can't beat that. Like I said, I've had $8 beers that didn't taste as good
we've
as that.
we spent fucking $4 or $5 on beers in fucking clubs that are about like this.
Well, hell, a couple times I've spent $7, $8 on one of those canned cocktails. Yeah. That tasted like ass compared to that.
Right.
Do you remember that one I got the other day? I can't remember what flavor it was. It sounded good in theory, and I can't remember what. I know there was cucumber in it, and I love cucumbers. It was cucumber and something, And I was like, oh, that sounds kind of good. And it was like a canned cocktail. So I got it, and it was awful. Yeah. Man, that tasted so bad. Like, I drank it because I was like, well, I paid for it, so I might as well. But, man, it was not good.
Yeah.
Ugh. Maybe other people might like it, but I was just kind of like, yeah, no, it's not good. Not good.
Now I got to try Hurricane.
That might be the next thing. Maybe that'll be next Friday's show.
Yeah,
like I said, maybe this should be a recurring thing. Like I said, we don't have to talk about it on the whole show, but it might be interesting to kind of go and like try out all these weird. That sounds like
well,
fun.
they're only weird to us.
Well, that's what I mean.
They're only weird to us.
That's what I mean.
But no, that would be, now that I've had that, thought about it, fucking tasted both of them, put myself in the shoes of the customer. That would be the king of the hood. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I get it.
It's been around forever. Your dad drank it. Your granddad drank it probably. And you're like, oh, yeah. So there's a heritage behind it. And the price was low and drank it. And no, that's good.
Well, and the thing about it, too, is that I think sometimes what happens with some particular products is they get associated with a particular demographic.
Exactly. That's what happens.
And so then everybody associates them with that. And it's like, well, I don't want any of that because that's associated with like some,
right. Well, that's
some people that aren't like that's what I mean. They're not like me.
Yeah.
But then like you drink, there's no difference between that and like some fucking hipster beer that I've drunk at like a fucking bar. You know what I mean? It's like there's no difference. It doesn't taste any different. So it's like it's all perception. It's all perception.
Malt liquor, you can make it faster and cheaper. But the quality in terms of taste, the quality's good. Okay, it's a sanitary product. And the taste is fucking great. It's good. The only thing price-wise that would be equivalent would be bottom-end lager, Bud, Coors, Michelob, shit like that. I'd rather have that.
I would as well.
So there you go.
To be honest with you.
So that's going to rule the hood right there.
Like I said,
so I want to go back and taste King Cobra because when I had that, I liked King Cobra too.
They still have that.
But I can't find it.
Like I said, I don't know if they make that anymore. Maybe.
No, they make it, and they have
do they?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's all modern and everything, and the Cobra's more fucking stylized on it. They got it. They just don't sell it here.
Guama says, folks who don't like pineapple pizza and who don't like candy corn and who don't like mint chocolate always have to remind people how against it they are. Yes, I have noticed this. Also, people who don't like coconut. That is another thing that people who don't like coconut seem really kind of like defensive about how they don't like coconut.
Yeah.
Which, like, whatever. You can like and don't like what you like. It really doesn't make, it's no never mind to me. It's like, I'm not you. It's like, you do whatever you're doing. But I don't get this whole argument about it's like, mint chocolate, it's the devil, or Hawaiian pizza. It's like, shut the fuck up. Like, some people like it's food. Get the fuck over it. Some people like it and some people don't. That's how the world works. I know that some of it is done for, like, dramatic effect. I get that. But, you know, in a way, like, at the end of the day, it's just dumb. It's a dumb thing to argue about.
Drink that and fucking think $1.33.
That's what I mean.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that.
This is good. It's good that we're doing this now because, you know, in the future, in case I ever become homeless.
Right, there you go. You can go.
And I have like it too, and I just like I'll know what to get.
Yeah.
So you know, this might help. That's not bad at all. I will say
if I jumped into Circle K, I'd probably get that out of the selection that they had at Circle K.
I will say that I like the original Colt 45 better.
Yeah, I think it's sweeter.
Because I do like the kind of corny flavor that it has.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's corn, but it just tasted like that to me.
Yeah, and it had that Weizen front end.
Right, but that's good too.
Yeah,
That's
more like a fucking higher end lager.
Sure.
There's nothing wrong with that as shit at all.
I mean, to be honest, here's the thing. I'm not going to shit on Circle K because even though, like I said,
sandwiches in the middle
you guys, and that's what I was just going to say. You knew where I was going with that. He knew where I was going with that. We've been together a long time. He knows where I'm going with that. So yeah, as I said, where we live, it's Lake County. It's rural, okay? Where we live is kind of like a neighborhood. There's like big houses and stuff. But most of the shit around here is like farmland. Cows, blueberries, blah, blah, blah. Now, we have what is it? Like a mile up the street. I think it's a mile up the street. Circle K on one side, gas station, convenience store. There's a Subway in there, I think. And then literally across the street, catty corner, is another Circle K. Now across the street over there is like a Publix, and like there's a Domino's and a Japanese restaurant and a breakfast place and like, or like a brunch place or something like that. So there's all this kind of stuff going on over there. And there's a hair salon too, I think. So a lot of times when we are out at the club, and I don't know why I get so excited about this, but we're like coming back from the club, and now that we live out here kind of a little bit in the middle of nowhere, so when we come back from the club, we're taking the toll roads, and so we don't pass anything. Like where we used to live, you'd pass, you know, McDonald's and IHOP and like all this other kind of stuff that was open all night. So it's like if you were drunk and you wanted some pancakes or an egg McMuffin or something, you could like stop and get that. But where we live now, there's really nothing on the way. So most of the time, if we're hungry on the way home from the bar, it's like, well, we got to go to Circle K and see what they have like in the deli section or in the whatever. So we usually go in there and see what their selection of sandwiches is. Now, Tom will get like some micro burritos, but I'm just kind of like, nah, I don't really want to do that because I know I'll be regretting it the next day. So I usually just get a sandwich. And I will be honest with you, and I think this is kind of goes along with a lot of stuff where I know that people would like shit on like convenience store sandwiches and stuff back in the old days, but they've really kind of like upped their game. Honestly, I have been to the Circle K. I usually will get, and I know this is probably like inadvisable usually, but I usually get, they have a really nice chicken salad with cranberries, like a cold sandwich, and that shit is actually pretty good. And like all the bread is like always really soft and everything like that. It's like actually pretty delicious. So I usually get one of those and like a little bag of like some cheddar chips or something like that, like on the way home. They got Cuban sandwiches too. Like you gotta like mitigate your kind of fucking expectations, because we usually go there at like 2-3 in the morning and a lot of their shit's gone. So you kind of got to pick through what they got left. But even the stuff that's left, it's pretty good. I've even got like an egg salad there before. Again, I know not advisable, but shit was good. Bread was all soft and pillowy. Just nice. They have nice shit in there. So,
Let me go make a drink here.
You know what I mean? So it's just kind of like, convenience stores, just like everything else, have had to like up their game, and they know that like our drunk asses are going to be rolling in there at 3:00 in the morning, and Tom will come in there, because you know how Tom is, and he'll come in there and be like, what kind of sandwiches you got? What sandwiches are left? You know what I mean? And you know, but like I said, he usually ends up getting burritos and then microwaves them when we get home. But it's like, I don't want that. I just always want, I don't know, when I get drunk, I usually like egg things. I like things with eggs in it. I want an omelet, or I like breakfasty kind of stuff, or that's why I usually end up getting something cold. I don't really want something like a burrito that's like spicy, because I'm like, yeah, that's gonna cause problems tomorrow. I've been there before. So I usually try to get something like cold. Egg salad, or like I said, they have a delightful chicken salad that has cranberries in it that is very good, but they don't always have them. Like sometimes they're all gone, but sometimes they have them and they're actually like quite good. Let's see, I kind of got behind on the comments. Gramthars says, how come the brand of beer you drink meshes with the music you want to hear? Yeah, that's what I mean. I kind of feel like if you kind of, you know, stepped back and looked at the whole thing, I kind of feel like there's not enough difference between... That's what I mean. It's like all perception. It's all perception. Because there's really not a great deal of difference between the taste of that, for example, and the taste of like some like high-end kind of like craft beer or whatever. And I've had some craft beers that kind of tasted comparable to that. And then like, but there's whole subcultures around,
man,
different kind of beer and shit like that.
Sly just showed up. Sly, I don't know if you were here. I didn't see you commenting earlier. I did a fucking Colt 45 taste test. Did regular Colt, then I did high gravity. All right, you can go back and watch it later. I didn't see your comments on there. I was talking, and I was saying that brothers up in the barracks are fucking buying Colt. They were buying King Cobra, and they were buying. He's ex-army. He's a black dude from the army too. They were buying King Cobra, Colt, fucking Old English. They'd get that one, and they would, what was the other one? Schlitz Malt Liquor Bull. All the malt liquors. White boys wanted to fucking revolt my white car behind drinking that shit, but they would fucking buy it, and I drank the shit, and I will attest, out of the fucking lower end beers, I'd rather have that malt liquor. It was better.
I would as well.
Yeah.
I'm going to go that far.
Much better than Budweiser, Coors, Busch.
Although, like
beer.
I said, I think that it would be, like,
Yeah.
let's not spend a lot of money on it because we don't have a lot of money. But I think
Yeah.
it would be funny to do a bro brew. Ooh, that's what we'll call it. We'll call it the bro brew taste test challenge.
All right,
and we'll get, like, all the kind of bro beers, like Budweiser and all that kind of stuff, which I don't love. But, like I said, let's not spend a lot of money on it. But we'll just get like a can each.
Yeah, so Sly, what I was saying was, that Billy Dee was right. Okay. If you're buying beer out of a fucking corner store, you're not gonna find a fucking fine craft beer there. You're gonna find fucking piss water and malt
It's at
liquor.
Circle K.
It's at
Circle K or 7-Eleven or whatever.
And based on what I had, the two, it's just like I remembered back in the early '90s.
Yeah,
That Colt was fucking good. Pretty good. It was like a nice Weizen beer, like a German white beer. And then the high gravity, which is supposed to be the fancier shit, was like a decent lager. But it was heavier, had a nice fucking flavor to it. It was good. Good beer.
It's like a lovely bouquet.
They're somehow using the malt liquor process. They're able to reproduce the experience of drinking a higher end craft beer at a lower price. So I'd say Billy Dee was telling you the truth. They were like, buy this at your local corner store. It's better than the other shit. It may not be beer, but it's a beer-like product, and it's better than the other shit.
Sure.
So, staying within the budget.
Zach says, I work at a Get-Go, which is basically poor man's Circle K. Mm-hmm. I cook the food, which is nasty, even by fast food standards. I always go for the deli sandwiches for lunch. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I've eaten many sandwiches and things like that from convenience stores, and I haven't really had any problems. Yeah. I don't get the heated up food. I don't do that. But, like, sometimes they have... Well, and 7-Eleven really kind of upped their game because I used to get shit from 7-Eleven all the time because there was one next door to where I worked when I worked at the print shop. So when I forgot to bring lunch, I would always go over there and get something. And they actually had, like... They had little, like... Almost like little charcuterie plates where it would have kind of like little meat and cheese and nuts and stuff like that. You could buy that. You could buy apples and bananas and... all that kind of shit in there. You can bet all that kind of stuff. Hugo said this episode should be sponsored by Circle K. Sure.
Yeah. Exactly.
Hey, Circle K, call us up.
Hey, man,
there's two of them, like, right up there.
Their breakfast sandwiches at fucking 3 o'clock in the morning, fucking, if they're still there.
That's what I mean. That chicken salad with cranberries in it, that is fucking delicious. I'm going to go, that it's good.
Strange things are afoot at the Circle K.
I mean, I'm drunk.
Yeah.
But... I'll give it that, but like that, it's a good sandwich.
And they got fucking McRibs there. They got fucking McRibs, but the thing is, they don't call it a McRib.
Well, you can't. You
take
get
it home, disassemble it. You want to take the ribs and put the ribs in the microwave. Put a little bit of barbecue sauce on it. You always got barbecue. I got barbecue sauce at the house. Toast the bun, and it should all be the buns. Put them in your toaster. And it should all be done quickly, and then you fucking pop that shit back out. Put the fucking toasted buns on your fucking plate. Put the fucking McRib on there that's already got the hot barbecue sauce because you just microwaved it. Throw the cold pickles back on. You want to separate that. Yeah. Take it back up. Crawl into bed with your woman and fucking eat that shit. Fucking.
Watching
we'll
YouTube
be in bed.
videos.
We'll be in bed, drunk, nude and shit. Big ass boobs flopping. I'm gonna fucking try to get that shit. I've been trying to get this shit for fucking 2 or 3 days now. She's running from me. She's running from me. I'm trying to get laid. I wake up this morning and I was like, no, I'm gonna get some of that shit. She's like that. I got in and everything, but then she's like, oh, I'm too tired. I want to. And then I lost interest. And then she runs off.
Well, dude, it was like time for me to get up. I got work to do.
I'm trying to get laid.
Plus, it's kind of hot in that
I
room.
understand.
Gonna say.
I understand.
And I'd been in there. I'd actually been awake. I'd been awake since 4:30. I woke up at like 4 or 4:30 because one, Pookie was running up and down like a buffalo herd, and two, I had to pee. So then like I got up and I went down the hall to the bathroom, and then I got back in. Then Pookie comes up like, "Hey, Mama, what are you doing?" I'm like, "Hey, sweetie, what are you doing?" And then I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna try to go back to sleep." And then I was like, "Fuck me," and then I was still like laying there with no like. And I couldn't go back to sleep. So I lay there for like 2 or 3 hours. Then I finally fell back to sleep, I think at like 6 a.m. And then Tom comes back in here and he's like, "Hey, what's going on?" And I was like, "Oh, gee, oh man, I just fell back to sleep and you woke me back up." Bad as Rad's Library. "Oh my God, I love your channel." Well, thank you very much. New to your channel, love your blue hair. Well, thank you very much.
Who said that?
Bad as Rad's Library.
Okay, thank you.
So it's a new person.
Thank you very much.
New person. Like... Hi, what are you doing?
I'm just saying, Sly's talking about how he didn't drink till he got to Korea. Me and Sly served in Korea when we were in the army, which is a forgotten war. And this Korea is called the Forgotten War, and it's still going on to today, even though it wasn't like it was back in the day. But Sly's a little bit older than me. I think he's 61. But we're from the same.
He said that earlier.
Yeah, we're from the same culture, though. He knows what I'm talking about. And this, you weren't here. Sly said he'd been sick. He's under the weather. A couple days back, I was told stories about the barracks and us fighting over beer. Remember the barracks parties where you boys go out and buy all this fucking Mad Dog 2020 and fucking all these cheap ass beers because you're kids, and you bring it back and you give it out to all your friends and shit.
Let's do a Mad Dog 2020 show.
You can do that. Yeah, Mad Dog 20. Yeah,
we'll get some Mad Dog. We'll get some good flavors.
Mad Dog is actually really good.
That's what I'm saying.
It's really good.
I would like some strawberry.
Yeah.
I would like some strawberry.
Yeah, it'll get you fucked up, and it tastes like melted fucking Otter Pops.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So by the end of the show, we'll probably be like incoherent, and that'd be super fun.
Don't worry about the high-minded fucking alcohol of, well, it's been aged in an oak barrel for 30. Now,
well, the thing about it, it's all what do you want to achieve? What do you want to achieve?
Right.
If you just want to get like fucked up with something that like tastes decent, then
or at least fun.
Or is at least fun.
Yeah.
Like if you're gonna like sit there and like enjoy it, like I'm not gonna drink that much of it. I'm not gonna get drunk on it or anything like that. But it's just like I just want to enjoy the taste. Then that's a whole other thing.
I'm across the board. I can drink Glenlivet, Glenfiddich, fucking.
Well, me too. It's like it. Like I said, it depends on what your end.
It's all what you're into.
What your end goal is. What is your end goal?
Yeah.
You know. Do you just want to get as fucked up like as cheaply as possible? Then you can be accommodated. But if you don't want to get drunk, you just want that a little bit of a buzz, but you want it to like taste good too. That's a whole different situation.
Yeah. So Sly, today was Colt 45 taste test. I was trying to get King Cobra and fucking Schlitz Malt Liquor Bull, but they don't sell it around here.
Yeah,
we gotta go to the. I gotta go to the hood.
Tom went all over the place. He was gone for hours and hours.
So I only had access to fucking cracker liquor stores and fucking out here with the country crackers. The only thing you're gonna find is Colt 45 and Hurricane. Hurricane's famous here too. That's the younger generation, though. Younger generation of black people will fucking drinking Hurricane. That'll be another show. But I was looking for the classics. 1990s classics. That's King Cobra. Okay? Because Colt 45 is 70s. Okay?
Like I said, I remember, that's some
70s.
old ass shit.
Right.
That's some old ass shit.
And today, Billy Dee, spokesman of Colt 45, delivered. And thinking back over to the over the advertisement, within its price range, Billy Dee wasn't lying. If you're buying out of a corner store like Circle K or 7-Eleven, for the price, King Cobra, or excuse me, fucking Colt 45 and the malt liquors would give you kind of a higher end experience versus, say, piss water lager like Busch or Budweiser. You want to go for Colt.
Yeah, Colt would be the. That's the granddaddy of them. That's been around for a long, long time. It's a little heavier body, a little more mild, high alcohol content. I'm pretty fucked up. I only drank fucking what? I drank 2 of them.
Well, yeah, but you also had
Right.
that.
Right.
So that wasn't the beer that did that.
And Malt Liquor technology does have brewing analogs.
Malt Liquor technology.
Yeah. I would say standard Colt 45 is very much like a German Weizen. And Colt 45 high density would be like a good lager. Yeah. Now, they're not made like beers. They're made a lot faster, but as an end user of the product, you won't know the difference. It's fucking... you won't know the difference when you're drinking it. You're talking about... It's snobbery in a certain way. Although I do understand craftsmanship. You know, I respect that.
I
too.
mean, there is something to be said for...
Right.
But like I said, it depends on the context. It's just like pretty much everything else in life.
Right. If I only had $1.50 in my pocket and I wanted a fucking good beer-like drink, I'd go for something like Colt.
Sure.
It'd be better than $1.50 worth of fucking
That's
Budweiser.
what I mean. You just have to like manage your expectations. Like, what do I want to achieve? How much do I have to achieve that goal?
To achieve that, right.
And what is the best possible experience that I could purchase with the little amount of money that I have?
And that's basically what Billy Dee's sales pitch was.
Well, that's the entire. That's kind of like the entire. That's kind of like my entire life.
Right. Yeah.
To be honest.
Right. And from
that's
what
kind of like entire life.
From what I experienced, it's a high quality product and fucking safe.
Yeah. No, like I said, not bad at all. Not bad at all.
There's nothing wrong with it.
Yukon Cornelius, 81. Do you lick your pickaxe? Because I just want to know about that. Finally cut alive for the first time in 2 years.
Go ahead.
Tom, I was 101st in the 2000s.
Okay, what unit? What regiment?
9101 AVN. We used to get shit-faced
9101
and rappel
what?
off the
AD,
fourth...
What do you call it?
AVN.
Okay, not...
Do you see that?
Aviation. Right, he's in the chopper units. Thank you very much. What do you say?
We used to get shit-faced and rappel off... Whoops.
Yeah.
Off the 4th floor of the barracks.
Okay, yeah.
Sergeant Major made us go dry for a bit.
Yeah. Yeah, we used to rappel all the time. We were doing Aussie rappel and fucking Swiss all the time. You should have been on the MFO mission. If you were in the infantry units, you'd have been on MFO with us. Fucking in Egypt, you would have fucking loved it, man. I got pictures of myself going fucking Aussie all fucking day off our fucking jump tower fucking at South Camp. And it was because nobody else wanted to do it, man. Everybody did their mandatory minimum fucking 2 little rappels. And then the fucking guys at the top, fucking rappel masters, just like, anybody want to do it again? And fucking I was up there all day doing Aussies. Flying Aussies. Fucking jumping out and everything. I fucking love this shit. I wish I was... What happened was is that... Back in the 90s, we were in during one of the best parts to be in the Army. It was a strong Army. We had lots of money. And then all of a sudden they wanted to downsize. Fucking Clinton got in and they were like, well, these kind of armies are out of date, which there's something to be said to that in a certain way. But I was lucky to get out with an honorable discharge in 94. They were kicking out everybody for any old fucking reason. And then I had my motorcycle wreck and ended up picking up a fucking good profile and got my retirement that way. But went back kind of did some contracting stuff later on after 9/11, and man, I always miss it. It's in me. I came up in a military school even before I went in, but the Empire is not in good condition, and then I don't want to get on that. I don't want to go down that fucking path. I'm gonna go to the restroom. Back in a second.
Gramthars says in Oregon we would ask bartenders to put a dribble of tomato juice in the beer. Red beer is big out west. I've heard of that, but I've never had it. Like, to me, it sounds gross, but then I think about it, I'm like, well, yeah, but I drink Bloody Marys. Like, I love Bloody Marys, and that's tomato juice, obviously, so I don't see how it would be any weirder. So I don't know. Because at first, like when I first heard about clamato, I was like, ew. But then when I thought about it, I was like, wait, what am I oohing about? That would probably be delicious. I don't know. Zach says, I have Sheetz gas stations near me. I've heard of those, but we don't have those in Florida as far as I know. Or we don't have them around here. They're practically on every corner. Their food is gross, but good at 3 a.m. when you're drunk. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I've never had a Circle K sandwich sober. No, that's not true. That's not true. Because the last time, I think not the last time, but the time before that we went out to Barbarella, and I think we talked about this on the show before, Tom got epically fucked up. I mean, I haven't seen him like that. And they don't even sell like liquor in there. We didn't bring any liquor because we've talked about it. It's like, oh, maybe we should bring some booze because we have booze at home. It's like, maybe we should bring some and like put it in the trunk and we'll like fucking do the fucking tailgate or whatever. But we never did it. We were too lazy. So I had literally like the whole night we were there. We got there right when they opened, which is like at 9:30. I had one drink then and it was just kind of like one of those like fucking, just malt liquor, like beer cocktails or whatever. So 4 or 5% alcohol. I had one of those at like 9:30. I had another one at 10:30, and then I didn't drink anything else the rest of the night. I just drank water. So we were there for hours and hours. I think we were there until 2 or 2:15 or something like that. And so when we left, I was completely sober and Tom was completely shit-faced.
What you talking about?
So that time that we went, that you got like soup that I had to drive.
Oh, and I was wrecking the car in the parking lot and shit.
Yeah. So he was completely shit faced.
I was fucked up.
I was sober. So I said that I've never had like a Circle K sandwich like sober, but that is not true because I was actually sober that night. I had not had a drink in like 4 or 5 hours by the time that we left because I had 2 and then I was like, man, I don't really want any more. And I was like dancing and I was having a good time. And I was just kind of like, yeah. So I just drank water like the rest from 10:30 until 2. So when we left, I mean, thankfully I was sober because everybody, I don't know if you know this, but when we were leaving, a couple of our friends were like, you're not driving, right? Like they said to you. And I don't know if you remember that.
No, I don't remember that.
He doesn't remember. And I was like, oh boy. And then, like, he's in the car, and I'm just kind of like, oh, my God. I was like, get out. So it's like that I just drove.
She kicked me out.
I did. I kicked you out. Yeah, we pulled over in a parking lot, and I was like, get the fuck out of this car. I'm driving.
Says, man, my cousin drank Mad Dog 2020. We were talking about that earlier. And he said that he misses us. We miss you too, Sly.
Yeah, we haven't seen you in a long time.
Yeah.
We haven't seen you in a long time.
Then he goes on later on and goes,
oh, thank you, Victor. I forgot. I totally missed that. I was way behind. Oh, okay. Can you put grits on pizza? No. You can.
But I wouldn't.
But no. Should you?
No.
But should you?
No, that wouldn't work out right. That's a funny question though. I know you're fucking with us. Grits are like polenta.
Let's think about it for a second
polenta.
though. Like, is there any application where it could work? Like, not obviously not. It would have to be like dry.
Now, Victor, I don't really know exactly your fucking ethnic background, but grits can be seasoned to match any ethnic cuisine. Like, I could do Mexican grits. It's corn.
Sure.
Okay.
Well, that's what I mean. It's not. So, I know a lot of people like to talk about grits like, oh, it's this big Southern thing, but they're just like a blank canvas. So, like I said, just like polenta or bread or rice or anything like that. You can do pretty much anything with grits that you can do with anything.
I can get together with Connor Vaslan, who lives in Tijuana, and me and him, we trade recipes a lot. Or we're trading recipes of girls doing recipes and stuff online because we both love fucking food. Me and him could get together and fucking combine our fucking minds and make Mexican grits. That's how good grits are. They're cheap. They last forever. They come in fucking big old things. It's kind of like masa, like when you're making.
Yeah, it's similar.
It's like making masa, like tortilla masa. The grits are made of fucking hominy. They're hominy grits, which you take corn. Cattle quality corn, cracked corn. It's hard corn. You put it in a 55-gallon fucking drum and put lye in it, and it blows up like wet popcorn.
Then you pull that out of it and you blend it into little tiny pieces, and then you dry it, and it will stay forever. Put it into hot water, it'll come right back into kind of like a porridge, or like a polenta, or like a corn flavored. What's a good way to put it? Like a corn flavored mashed potatoes. It's kind of what it's like. Think of it as like corn flavored mashed potatoes.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much anything you could do with any kind of like starch like that, you can do with grits as well. It doesn't have a real strong flavor.
And then you can add anything to that, seasoning-wise, seasoning, cheese, fucking meat, vegetables.
Some weirdos make it sweet too.
You can make it sweet, or you can make it salty.
I don't do that, but I know some people do that. Right. I'm not hating.
The South got through the Civil War and all those embargoes because of damn grits. Yeah. It went on for a couple years, but grits was a survival fucking food for Southerners. And it didn't matter the color, white or black. They were eating that. It's kind of like our version of an MRE. And you can do fucking beautiful dishes, bowl. What I like, what's standard here, a big bowl of grits with salt and pepper, Cajun seasoning, butter in it, bacon bits, cheese, and diced up peppers like bell peppers, red peppers, green peppers, whatever.
I like them with boiled eggs in them too.
You line that shit with hard-boiled eggs around it.
Yeah, it's good.
You take a spoon and you cut a piece of egg off, and then get some grits and eat them. Yeah, and it's kind of thick, like a thick porridge, or mashed potatoes. I like mashed potatoes. Not quite that thick, but.
Michael Schaefer said, just like the old days, Tom goes on a grit rant.
Fuck all this shit. Yeah, you know.
John Gora says, Fruit Loops on pizza?
No.
Now, they do have dessert pizzas, but I will say...
It's very different.
Look, I'm into all kind of like sugary cereals and stuff. Fruit Loops can die in a fire. Like, look, I'm not shitting on you if you like Fruit Loops. I do not like Fruit Loops. I've never liked Fruit Loops. If I'm going to do sugary cereal... I'm gonna do what are the like frosted mini wheats?
Yeah.
Or honey bunches of oats.
Okay, look.
Or remember back in the old days they used to have Waffle-Os.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember Waffle-Os? Man, that shit was good.
Your generic dessert pizza is a pizza crust with some kind of pie filling.
Sure. Usually that works. It's just
usually
dough.
a fruit pie filling. And then on top of that, basically creamer.
Yeah, Captain Crunch is good too.
Coffee creamer. You mix some water in with the coffee creamer, maybe like some kind of seasoning, maybe some sugar or something, and you fucking spoon that on top instead of cheese, and then you bake it. That's the very, very basic. Is that good? Yeah. Like it's as good as a Pop-Tart, because what you're making is a Pop-Tart.
And shit, man, nothing wrong with Pop-Tarts.
Yeah.
Actually, we got.
Is it high class? It's about as high class as Colt 45.
Yeah.
Okay.
But like I said, are we being snobby about that?
We're being snobby.
Because look, I'm not going to be snobby. I like Pop-Tarts too.
Yeah.
We talked about this before.
Bought a case of Pop-Tarts.
We have Pop-Tarts downstairs right now. He got a whole case of them at Sam's. Yeah. Although I'm kind of, I don't know if I'd say snobby, but it's not snobbery. It's just that I tend to prefer some flavors over others. Honestly, the strawberry ones with the multicolored sprinkles, those are the best ones.
Yeah.
But the cinnamon ones are good too. The chocolate ones are okay. But a lot of the other ones I don't really have time for, to be honest with you. Don't really have time for.
Honky snobbery sometimes fucking factors into a lot of shit. Especially with the college crowd. Those bitches will fucking get up in there and they'll fucking worry about all kinds of, microbrewery issues. When it comes to beer and corner stores or the liquor stores, that Colt 45 fucking standard was pretty good. It was like a decent Weissen. I would drink that, or the high gravity was good too. It was like a decent lager.
Yeah, I liked the original better, but that was good too. I wouldn't be mad.
Very much punching above the competition when it came to price.
Sure.
So out of the cheap beers, I'd rather have Colt. I don't drink cheap beers though. That's the difference.
But if I was gonna drink cheap beers, I'd drink Colt. Just saying.
Yeah, they're talking about Captain Crunch. Yeah, that's another one I forgot. Captain Crunch is also delicious. I'm not super into the Crunch Berries. I'll eat them. I'm not like a snob about it, but the peanut butter Captain Crunch is good. But honestly, I like the OG. I like the OG Captain Crunch. That's also very good. Anybody remember Nut and Honey? Yeah, I do.
Remember those?
I remember that. Sly says Sugar Pops when I'm very hungry. Yeah, I don't. And honestly, I love sweet shit. Sugar Pops are a little sweet for me. Little sweet.
Right.
Do you guys remember Cookie Crisp?
Yep. I love them.
Do they
Cookie
still make
Crisp.
that? Yeah, those were delicious.
And they had like 3 different flavors of Cookie Crisp.
Well, again, like the original like chocolate chip flavor.
Yeah.
Oh man, those were so good. I don't even know if they make those anymore. We don't buy like a lot of cereal, so I don't really know. But yeah, man, I used to really like Cookie Crisp. I honestly though, I really wish my favorite cereal from when I was a kid, other than Frosted Mini Wheats, which I'll still eat to this day because that shit's delicious, but was Waffle-O's. Man, Waffle-O's were so good. And I kind of feel like they don't make... I'm sure they make a comparable cereal nowadays because there's like a million different ones, but I kind of miss Waffle-O's. Man, those were
Sly's just saying just fucking salt and butter on grits. That's the old school. That's the old school way.
Honestly, I just like salt, pepper, butter. I mean, but it's good with hard-boiled eggs in it, too.
Yeah.
I could take or leave bacon bits. That's good in it or it's not good. I don't really care.
Yukon Cornelius says, Tom, we supported Aerosol infantry units 50 Deuce and 506 mostly. We did training missions stateside and combat missions in Iraq. He was a UH-60 crew chief gunner. It was usually a good time. Okay, yeah. When I was in the 101st, I was in the bathroom. I was in the 1st and the 327th and 1st and 327 recon platoon. I was also in the 506, but I was in the 506 when it was attached to 2nd ID up in Korea on the DMZ. It was a place called Camp Greaves, which we were kind of like their DMZ police. Our Alpha company was Liberty Bell. And we had guys that we were like close associates with Joint JSA, Joint Security Area. Now, my uncle was at 101st at Task Force 160, Special Operations at Aviations. And he's doing all kinds of high-speed shit even to this day. He's only a few years older than me, and that motherfucker looks like damn Arnold Schwarzenegger. He roided out like shit. And he's a little bird pilot for a potentate, a Middle Eastern potentate in... what's the name? Abu Dhabi. Several of my aunts and uncles live in Abu Dhabi. My family's been kind of tied in with the Middle East for quite a while, going all the way back to Iran during the Shah era of fucking Iran. It's a long story. But my family's been filled with military and State Department, DA, SF, Delta. So I was part of the community, if you understand what I'm talking about. And after I got out for medical reasons, I fucking did some time as a civilian, and then fucking adventures took me into fucking contracting later on. Okay. I'm fucking retired now. Physically. Mentally, I'm still active. I can barely fucking sleep at night. But, no, man, you were in good units. Fucking good units. The aviation units of the 101st were fucking great. 160th was fucking the shit. I had and turned down an offer to be a fucking mini gunner on that special operations CH-47 Chinook. My uncle says, I could get you right in. You're the kind of guy we're looking for. You want to be a mini gunner on a fucking Chinook. And during that time, I was deep in the fucking 1327 recon platoon. And I was like, well, I don't know, fucking Ranger school and shit like that. So that's all I'm going to say about it. Go ahead.
Yukon Cornelius also says, gotta go. Glad I finally got to say hello. Well, hello.
Yeah.
Love the show. Listen on my commute to and from work every day.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. That's awesome. I like your name, Yukon Cornelius. Because,
That's a good name.
Well, it's from the Rankin Bass Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer Christmas special, and I always used to really like Yukon Cornelius because he would always he would do the little thing with his pickaxe and then he would lick it. He could find gold by licking it, and I don't know why that made me laugh or really laugh when I was a kid, and I still remember it. Strawberry Straw Dogs 78 says blueberry and strawberry Pop-Tarts are life sustaining. I don't like the blueberry ones, but the strawberry ones are delicious. Thank you, Sly.
Thank you, Sly. Baby.
That is very nice.
It's a very generous
that
offering.
Is very nice
Thank you
of
very much.
That is very nice of you.
Very good.
Zach says, I agree with you on the Captain Crunch, best cereal ever. Yeah, I mean, Captain Crunch.
Well, Crunchberry, too.
I don't really. Well, I could take or leave the Crunch Berries, but I really like the original Captain
They were all
Crunch.
good. They were all good.
It's all good.
They were
it's
all good.
I haven't, like I said, we don't really buy a lot of cereal.
They had the peanut butter crunch too.
Okay,
Remember
that's good too.
shit?
I mean, anything peanut butter.
All
I'm
the
gonna
Captain
eat that
Crunch
shit.
cereal.
I'm gonna eat that.
All of the Captain Crunch brand of cereals were fucking good. Even though it's all, you know what I mean. But that line, they were all good.
I'm not real into the fruity stuff though.
I liked that. I like the.
Although, like I said, I don't like Fruity Pebbles. I don't like Fruit Loops. I don't like Tricks. I don't like any of that kind of stuff.
I liked it. I liked it all.
My brother was into it, and he'd even drink the milk, which really grossed me out.
I liked the Monster cereals with fucking Blueberry and Count Chocula.
Well, I liked Count Chocula.
Yeah, I liked all that shit too.
I liked Count Chocula. I liked the boxes, obviously, because they were monsters.
I liked the cereals.
But I didn't really like the cereals so much, which was a shame.
Got some more ice in that?
Sure. Victor says Cocoa Pebbles with banana slices is my go-to. Oh, man. There's so much wrong with that sentence. At least from my point of view. Look, okay. I don't know why this is. I like Cocoa Krispies, but whenever we had Cocoa Krispies, Rice Krispies were okay too, but it was always just kind of I would eat it grudgingly. Cocoa Krispies, I was into that, but man, it had had a tiny amount of milk in it because you put too much milk and then it gets soggy. And then, like I said, my brother, who's 4 years younger than me, I have two brothers actually, but I have one that was 4 years younger. And he got real into eating the cereal, and he would put a fuck ton of milk in it, and then he would just wait for it to get soggy. And then he would eat it, and then he would drink the milk, and that grossed me out so much. I was just so grossed out. I like my cereal to be crunchy. Thank you very much. I'm not shitting on you if you don't like that, but it's I really, really like crunchy cereal. So I like milk on there, but I like a little bit. So I did like Cocoa Krispies, but it had to have literally a fucking just enough milk to kind of make it damp. And then I would just kind of eat it because it was still crunchy. If it was getting soggy, I just threw it out. I don't want to drink the milk. That's disgusting. But like I said, I'm not shitting if you want to do that, but I don't like that. So yeah. And also, I don't know why. I like fruit in general, but I do not like bananas. I do not like bananas. Thank you, Jeffy Art. Thank you. I always like your little cartoons. They're so cute. But yeah, so I don't know. I don't like bananas. I mean, if it comes down to it, I especially don't like, I don't like natural bananas, but I especially don't like banana flavored things. You know what I mean? Because I'm not a big fan of actual bananas. I'll eat them if I have to, but I'm not going to be happy about it. But fake banana flavor, anything's banana flavored, yeah, no thanks. That's super, super gross to me. I don't know why. Like I said, I know some people like that. I don't. Tom will eat it, but Danny Rolling said Trick cereal was good before they switched to the bullshit ball shape. I never liked Tricks. Like I said, and we've talked about this before, and Tom is always trying to tell me that because he's more into fruit flavored stuff, fruit flavored ice cream and fruit flavored candy and all that kind of stuff, that's somehow more manly than other stuff, which I don't get, but whatever. But I like fruit. It's fine. I like some fruit flavored candy, like Starburst, delicious. Although I don't like all the flavors. I like the lemon, I like the cherry, I like the strawberry and the orange. Those are good. Lime and shit like that can fuck off. I don't like that. But I don't.
Thank you, Jeffrey. Thank you very much.
I don't really like gummy kind of candies. Like I said, they're not terrible. If that's all I had to eat, then I would eat them. But
yeah,
man, it's if I'm gonna waste the calories, if I'm gonna eat that many calories in candy. I would rather have something like delicious, like something good. And
That's just her, though.
That would be.
I love all that.
Well,
shit.
that's what we were talking about before you got here. You missed like the whole first part of the conversation.
I love all that shit, yeah.
Like I said, you love all that shit, and you even like fruity ice cream and stuff like that. Which I'm, like I said, I don't hate it. Like I said, if that was the only ice cream that was available, and I was like really wanting ice cream, it's like, yeah, fine, I'll eat that. But it's not my favorite. It's not ever what I would pick.
I saw a study that said that women more fucking favored chocolatey and caramelly type stuff on average, and then on average, guys kind of like fruitier stuff. Just the way it is. It's just
now the thing about it. Danny Rolling brings up something that I wanted to address, because that fruit kind of thing that I have does not extend to either watermelon or black cherry, which are delicious. Honestly, anything watermelon flavored or black cherry flavored, I'll eat that.
Yeah,
I'll eat that. I don't really like. I don't know, but I don't like other fruit flavors other than that.
Okay, we got a decent crowd going on in the live chat. If you guys want us to change gears and go into any other kind of situations, go ahead and drop something in the comment section.
I don't know. They seem to be having a good time.
Yeah, y'all just want to, y'all fat fucks want to talk about food.
Zach says banana flavored runts were the best ones, though. I find that hard to believe, sir.
She hates artificial banana flavor. She doesn't like real banana.
I don't even really like real bananas.
I love banana flavor. Yeah. I like
Although somebody said
remember those banana chocolate bomb pops they used to have at the damn fucking ice cream truck? I fucking love those too.
Like I'll eat a banana split.
Yeah.
Okay. It's not my first choice, but if somebody said, "Hey, you want a free banana split with all this ice cream on it and stuff like that?" Yeah, I'll eat that. But fake banana flavor, yeah, no thanks. The thing about it is that it's hard to get fruit flavor right. If you're gonna do a fake fruit flavor, I like cherry fake fruit flavor, strawberry fake fruit flavor, and orange and lemon are good too. So I'll eat that. So it's not so much an aversion to fruit. It's just kind of like if I'm gonna have a dessert type of thing. Like other day, like when we went to Riff Tracks. And we were like, well, we're going to the movies, which we don't do anymore that much.
Jason X
and
is fucking drinking Michelob Light. Ain't that?
How's that tasting?
Yeah, a Michelob Light. Okay.
Maybe we should do a whole taste test on that.
Michelob Light.
I don't think I've ever had Michelob in my entire life.
It's piss water.
I maybe have, but I don't remember it. But the thing about it is that so we stocked up, like at the store. Like we went to Dollar General. Yeah. And he gets all the fruity candy. Yeah. All the gummy stuff and stuff like that. I'm like, man, gross. It's like, that's a lot of calories. And I'm like, look, if I'm going to have that many calories, I want something like really, really good. I want some like rich chocolate and nuts and stuff like that. Or toffee or something. So he bought like 3 or 4 bags of fruit gummies. Yeah. I bought 1 bag of chocolate covered peanuts. And I enjoyed mine a lot more, I think.
Well, no, I fucking had several days of eating fucking gummies.
Yeah, but see, I can't do that because it's like I can't eat chocolate-covered peanuts every day, much as I might like to, because I'd be like super fat. But see, the thing about it, though, is that fruit gummies, you would think, that's the healthier candy, but those have like just as many calories. They're just as fattening.
I'll burn them bitches up. I'm on so many steroids, I'll burn that bitch up. Doesn't matter to me.
Camp Guy said I love watermelon and bubblegum flavors.
Yeah.
Some bubblegum flavors. And honestly, when I was a kid, I used to kind of like bubblegum flavored ice cream. Like the Baskin Robbins had that.
I love all that exploitative fucking ghetto flavors with the watermelon and the cherry and the fucking pixie sticks and all that shit that I grew up with. I like all that fucking cheap shit. I fucking love it. I don't know what it is.
Like I said, I'll eat those, but it's not my favorite.
Yeah.
Like if somebody said, "Here's $1, go buy like some good candy that you'd actually enjoy," it wouldn't be fruit candy.
I can buy either one of those. I mean, I can buy chocolatey shit too, but I'll fucking get cheap shit. I don't give a fuck. It's all good to me. I like it all. It's a different experience.
It is.
Yeah.
Well, and the thing about it too, I kind of feel like gummy candies. Maybe it's just the gummy candies that I don't know if those is just. I don't know if you like a while back there was a thing.
I'll go buy a fucking Chico stick. Remember those fuckers?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, Chico stick.
Do you remember back in the day? And I told you about this. I don't know if it's still up or not.
Yeah.
But there were sugar-free gummy bears, and I'm pretty sure it was Haribo or some like big brand or something.
Yeah.
The sugar-free gummy bears.
Haribo.
Which, like I said, if you don't know, the stuff they use for like the sugar-free sodas and candy and stuff like that, sometimes that stuff will, let's be indelicate about this, will give you the shits, because that's kind of like the same stuff that they put in laxatives. So there was a post, I can't remember, it was like a 5-pound bag of sugar-free gummy bears. Might have been like an off-brand, or might have been like, you know, the big brand or whatever. And the reviews on that on Amazon were hilarious, because I guess like a lot of people like got this 5-pound bag and like ate a bunch of them like while they were sitting there gaming or watching a movie or whatever, and then had some let's call them digestive issues.
Yeah. Zach Anderson saying, I love Big League Chew. I love that shit.
Do they still make that?
Yeah, I love that shit too. You eat that shit.
Do they still make that?
Yeah, it was good. It was like grape flavored. And then Straw Dog says, drinking an Angry Orchard and Guinness concoction. First
Ooh,
alcohol.
I love that drink. That's good. I like Angry Orchard.
That's called Black Velvet. Is what that's called.
Or it's a variation of like Black
where you take some kind of a cider and a Guinness stout and mix them about 50-50.
Yeah, apple or pear or something like that.
Well, again, Angry Orchard doesn't have a.
No, I'm just saying that if you don't have Angry Orchard, like
right.
pear works too.
Any kind of cider and any kind of fucking Guinness stout mixed about 50-50, it's called Black Velvet. If it's not Guinness stout, like some kind of a red beer or a darker beer, with fucking cider, we used to call that fucking snake bite. But out of the two, I always liked fucking Black Velvet, which is fucking Guinness stout and cider, 50-50. Shit was awesome. I love it. But it'll put a lot of weight on you. That's the problem. Fattening.
Victor says Kit Kat is the best candy. I'm not going to argue with you. I mean, Kit Kats are
they're good, but
really
they're
good.
not the best. The best is Reese's.
Well,
Reese's
okay, now
cup.
Reese's peanut butter cup, but I like Snickers.
Yeah.
I like Snickers, but I like Snickers if they're frozen, and I usually like the fun size ones. And I will argue that a lot of candy bars are better in their fun size iteration, because I kind of feel like the the proportion is better.
A couple of days back, I got a fucking Reese's. I think it's called a Giant, which is it's a Reese's peanut butter cup that's fucking
I've seen those
2.5 times in thickness. That fucking was great. It wasn't as good as those fucking Reese's peanut butter cups. They're peanut butter cups. They weren't Reese's. I bought them at the damn candy maker down in fucking Cambridge, Massachusetts, over at fucking Cambridge Square. Those things were the size of a goddamn apple. I mean, they were fucking that thick. But each fucking buttercup was $5 back in the 90s.
But you can't eat all that at one time, though.
Oh, I did.
Well,
but
of course you did.
They were the size. They were the size of a fucking cupcake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I couldn't eat that in one sitting.
Oh man.
Much as I would like to.
It was like a whole meal. I'd eat that shit, and I was like, "Well, I'm not eating the rest of this."
Yeah, the rest of today.
Yeah.
I'll eat tomorrow or the day after. Well, see, that's another thing. I would argue that as good as the classic Reese's peanut butter cup size is, I would argue that the fun size ones are actually better, because I think that the proportion of chocolate to peanut butter is better in the single, like the little single ones. I think. Honestly, I think like all the little bitty fun size bars, like you get at Halloween and stuff, I think those are generally better. Yeah. I don't know. I just think the proportion of ingredients is more satisfying.
Yeah, Sly, those Clark bars were good.
Yeah, those are pretty good too.
So were Zero bars.
Now, see, they still have zero bars.
Yeah, they don't have Clark. I haven't seen a Clark in a long time.
Zero bars, because a lot of
that white nougat with the fucking chocolate.
I thought
on
it
the
was
outside.
marshmallow. Is it marshmallow or no?
No, it was like a nougaty.
Okay.
It was kind of stretchy. They were good, real good. Clark, I haven't seen them in a long time. You could order them. You could usually order all that shit online.
Well, that's the thing. There's a lot of online candy stores that will sell you. Because, well, and
classic candy.
I even saw a documentary about this where even like a lot of classic candy that a lot of the original companies don't make anymore, but they sold like all their recipes and the licensing and everything like that to like another company that now makes them and like sell them online. Like so they have Amazon stores.
You can get Necco wafers, which is
I don't know why you'd want to, but
man, when I was a kid, we used to buy Necco wafers because they were like a dime. You get a whole roll of Neccos. Necco wafer was the original American candy. I didn't realize that those are from the 1800s.
Yeah, they've been around a long time.
That's how old those are.
They've been around a long time.
And when you look at it in the point of view that this is an 1800s candy.
Well, yeah, they probably thought that shit was delicious back then.
Yeah.
Nowadays, there's no reason to be eating that.
Kind of that damn waxy powder on it, you know, but they were kind of addictive. Once you ate one of them, you wanted to eat more of them. It was like eating dust. Flavored dust.
Delicious dust.
Yeah, it was weird. It was weird.
That sounds delicious, Tom.
It was just a weird experience. It was like eating medicine.
Yeah.
And the only one that had a distinctive flavor was the one that tasted like black licorice. The rest of them didn't seem to really have much of a flavor to them. But we loved them. They were so cheap, and you could eat a shit ton of them.
Well, I mean, when you were a kid, you just learned to love whatever you could afford, I guess. That's what you had to put up with. Yeah. Danny Rolling said Hostess chocolate pudding pies. Honestly,
they're good.
I loved those.
Yeah.
That had Snoopy on it, right? Yeah. I kind of feel like it had Snoopy on it.
I liked the lemon ones better.
Lemon ones were good too. I'm not going to lie. Cherry ones were also good. They had a cherry one. But for some reason, the chocolate pudding ones were my favorite.
And you could buy them for nothing.
Yeah, they were super cheap. I used to walk, because my grandmother, she had a 7-Eleven behind her house. So you could just walk over there and buy snacks. So sometimes we'd go over there and
for
buy
you
snacks
non-Americans up in Europe and other fucking places in the world, it might even be the African continent. We had these fucking things that we call pies. They weren't pies. It was a little package about this big, and you had a fold over of fucking it was like a pie crust, and it was glazed in sugar, and there was a filling in the middle of them. And it was just kind of like generic pie filling. Some of it was chocolate, lemon, cherry. Those are the main ones I remember.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there was other ones, but and they had Peanuts characters on them.
Yeah,
Charlie Brown, Lucy, and Snoopy, and stuff like that.
They were Dolly Madison made the.
Yeah.
The South had different ones.
Well, because Dolly Madison, I don't know what larger company they were a part of, but they used to host all of those. They would sponsor all those Peanuts, Christmas specials and stuff.
They came in wax paper, a wax paper thing, and it was kind of colored.
Yeah.
And you could rip the end of it off, and it would come out and look like a taco.
I mean, it was big.
It was pretty big for what you paid.
Sure.
And you didn't heat it up or anything. You just ate it.
Yeah, you just ate it.
Kind of like the pie at McDonald's, like the hot apple pie. But it wasn't hot. It was just
room temperature.
Just room temperature. But they were less than $1 in those days.
I don't remember how much they were. I used to get the chocolate ones. Cents. Yeah, it was something like that.
Yeah, 75, maybe less, depending on. When I was a little kid, they were probably 50. And then when I got older in my teenage years, they were probably 75. And you had this weird experience like you actually ate a meal, but you didn't. If you
it was probably enough calories.
Yeah, if you looked at the nutrition, there wasn't much there. But they were only a little bit more than a candy bar, but a lot more filling than a candy bar.
Man, I would go over to, I'd be at my grandma's house, over the summer, because we usually stayed there in the summertime, while my parents were working. And we would walk over to the 7-Eleven, and I would get a chocolate pudding pie with Snoopy on it.
Yeah.
And then I would get, what the fuck did they call those things? They used to sell them in the front of the 7-Eleven that were, it was almost like a little comic book, but you folded it out and it was like a scene, like Batman or Ghostbusters or whatever the hell was popular at the time, and then you could like rub off like the characters on there. Like they had like a whole.
I don't
what the fuck was that called? It was
but
a
what
thing.
was the food?
I just said a chocolate pie.
Okay.
No, it didn't come with food.
Okay.
I said I would go over there and get a pie.
Okay.
And then I would get that little thing where you would like.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, it was kind of like, it was a scene. Like usually it would be like a Batman scene, like you fold it out.
Yeah.
Right? And it was like it was usually Batman or Ghostbusters. Those are the two where I remember. And then it would come with a sheet of all these little characters like doing shit, like Batman going woo like that or whatever the fuck. And then like you would put the characters on the scene like wherever you want it, and then you'd rub it off like with a pencil.
Yeah.
And it would come off like on the other side. So I would always get one of those, and I would get like a pie.
If you ask me during that era, and this is a long time ago, the lemon ones were the best ones.
Those were good too.
Yeah.
Those were good too. I mean, lemon anything. I'll eat lemon anything.
The lemon ones were the
I
best
really
ones.
like lemon anything.
You could actually heat them up a little bit in a microwave.
Yeah.
Just for a few seconds, just to make them a little softer. And the steam inside the wrapper would make them a little like it was something that came out of the oven. And they were a little bit better. I didn't like the chocolate ones that much. It was just, it tastes like chocolate pudding.
It was chocolate
That's
pudding.
what it was, yeah.
It was chocolate
I
pudding.
didn't like that as much. It needed something like caramel and nuts in it to really.
Well, it
set
needed
up
a textural
But
element.
yeah, but they were so cheap, they didn't put that in there.
They're like, no, we're not going to do that.
No.
It was basically like chocolate pudding in a pie pie shell is essentially what it was. Somebody said, Sly said, I still buy Zero bars, white chocolate.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to, I love Zero bars.
They're good.
I love white chocolate. And somebody said Almond Joy rocks. Yes, I also love Almond Joys.
I was going through the damn checkout at Publix and saw Zero Bar and reached out, almost bought it.
You should have bought me one.
Yeah, I almost bought it. But they wanted a lot for it, man. Prices are going up. I'm not used to these new prices. I was like they wanted almost $2 for that.
I'm amazed that they still have Zero bars because I kind of feel like shit like that, like...
They had Zero and Uno. And Uno was real similar to Zero, but I don't really remember the difference. You guys in the comment section go tell me. You had a Zero bar?
I kind of feel like...
Uno bar. They were real similar.
There's not... Even nowadays...
Yeah. I think Uno might have had peanuts in or something in it. But other than that, it was about the same.
Even nowadays, there's still not enough white chocolate.
Yeah.
Although I will say, I really do like the Hershey's like cookies and cream. Although I kind of wish they would just do a straight white chocolate bar. Yeah. But most candy bars nowadays do have a white chocolate variant. Even though sometimes, like even Kit Kat has one, which I'm a big fan of. But I kind of feel like more of them should do that. But it's better than it was back in the day. Because I liked white chocolate from when I was a kid. And back in the 70s and early 80s, it was kind of hard to get like white chocolate shit. Like I said, you had Zero bars. And at Easter, you could get white chocolate bunnies. But they were kind of like the redheaded stepchild that they put over here. And I was like, what? I like that though, and it's just, you know what I mean. But nowadays, they make like Reese's with white chocolate, and like they have a Snickers, I think that's white chocolate. They have like white chocolate versions of everything, but they're not like widely available. But at least they kind of have them. Yeah. But I really like those.
How long have we been streaming?
2 hours and 30 minutes.
All right.
They're talking about Goo Goo clusters. I remember those too. I remember those too.
They're good.
Yeah, we're talking about Almond Joy. Yeah, I really like Almond. So Mounds are good too because I'm all about chocolate and coconut. But Almond Joy is better because it has like fucking nuts in it, obviously.
Does anybody have any questions about any true crime cases, or paranormal, or current events, anything? If not, we're gonna just stay.
We're gonna talking about
candy.
Everybody's talking about candy.
Dime store shit. Okay.
Everybody's talking about candy.
Well, we're all getting drunk and we're talking about dime store shit.
Victor said, "Do they still sell whatchamacallit bars? Those were good. Those were good.
I haven't seen one in a long time. I haven't seen one in a long time. I haven't seen a Reggie bar in forever, man. I used to love a Reggie bar.
See, that's old school.
Sly knows what a Reggie bar is.
School.
He was a Los Angeles Dodger, if I remember correctly. And he was like he was kind of like the Babe Ruth of my era. And he had a fucking candy bar. It came from, I think it was Mars, M&M's. It was from one of the major manufacturers.
and it was kind of like a damn turtle, if you know what a turtle is. It was like kind of like $100,000 bar, or 100-gram bar is what they call it today. It was like caramel with peanuts,
Yeah.
covered in chocolate, and it was flat, and it was, man, that shit was fucking good. A Reggie bar. I haven't seen a Reggie in
those are
forever.
delicious. It's making me hungry.
Made me miss the old days.
Tammy said Lindor lint truffles are the best white
Yeah, they're
chocolate.
good.
Yeah, honestly, I really like, and every now, like around Christmas time, I'll usually buy myself a little bag of the Lindor white truffles, like with the peppermint in there. 'Cause
Another good one was
white chocolate and peppermint. That's
Another
my
one
favorite.
that fucking I grew up with, fucking Sly, he grew up with that shit too. It's called Toffee Fay.
They still sell that.
Yeah, they still make it.
We bought it not too long ago.
They're good.
They have it at fucking at the CVS.
There's these little
right down the street.
semicircular things.
Those
They're
are
like
good.
half a sphere, fucking caramel with nougat and a fucking nut with brown chocolate, dark chocolate on top of them. They were fucking really good. I remember when they were new, and I was buying them things. They came in like a pack of 5 or 6 in a long bar. They were really good. I think it was what kind of nut was that in that? A hazelnut? I think it was a hazelnut.
Oh, it might have been.
It was like
I
caramel.
remember we bought some not too
Yeah.
long ago because they still have them everywhere. They have them at CVS. They have
That's
them
one that
at-
stuck.
Yeah.
That was one that stuck. And when that shit came out, I was like, oh, I love these. My mom, I was a little boy.
Those are good.
I was like a little boy. I was like
Yeah,
10.
they
I
are
was sitting
good.
there eating. My mom's like, what are those? This is just a toffee fake. And I gave her one, and she said, oh, those are good. Fucking
Yeah.
yeah.
Hard to go wrong with that.
Hard
kind
to
of
go
stuff.
wrong with that shit.
Seriously. Jason X says Baby Ruth sucks. I'm gonna disagree with you.
No,
on that.
no. Baby Ruth.
I like Baby Ruth.
Baby Ruth is good.
Honestly, I'm even gonna. I'll even stand up for Payday bars,
Yeah,
which
Payday's
don't even
good.
have any chocolate. It's just basically all peanuts
Yeah, Payday was
and
good.
nougat.
Yep.
I like Paydays.
Yep.
I'm a big fan of peanuts. I'm not hating.
Lynn was Sly said that he's still alive, Tom. When he said, and I think he was the only baseball player that had a candy named after him. Yeah, he was a African American guy who was a fucking really. I think he was an L.A. Dodger, and he fucking he was a fucking really good batter from what I remember. All right, you threw a ball at him, he'd hit that fucking ball. And he was causing the Dodgers to win. They made a candy bar after him. You could probably order it special through like retro
I imagine
candy
you
services.
can. There's
But
a lot of shops
yeah.
like that. That's still
That
do
fucking
old school
Reggie
candy.
bar. That Reggie bar was great. It was a round like that, and it was like a truffle. It was caramel with some nuts. I don't remember what kind of nut it was. It was probably peanuts, and dark chocolate over it. And when I was a kid, man, we'd buy a fucking shit ton of those. And you like, shit would stretch. They were fucking good, man. Really good. Look, for y'all youngsters, I'm a wax old man.
He's gonna do some old man shit right now.
gonna do
He's
some
laying
old
down
man
some old
shit right now.
wisdom.
And Sly gonna back me up on this shit. His 61-year-old ass. Food in the 70s was better.
I don't know if I'd go that far.
No, some of that food in the 70s was fucking
Well, some
great.
of it, maybe.
And the early 80s, fucking round table pizza was the fucking shit in the fucking late 70s, early 80s. Some of those candy bars were fucking fantastic. And I think it's because the food service industry was not quite as corporate mass production. There was still a little bit of craftsmanship in certain things that they made. Although I must attest, when the mid-'80s had come around, it had gotten kind of bad. But I remember late 70s being really good, and when it came to food. There were some pizza places that you'd go to, even though they were chains. Pizza Hut in the 70s was fucking great. Really good.
Well, back then
It
it used to
has
be it was a sit-down restaurant.
Yeah, it was a sit-down restaurant. You go play Missile Command
In
there.
the 70s and 80s. Had a jukebox and everything.
Yeah, and that pizza was good all the way up until the mid-'90s. Up until the mid-'90s, the pizza was really good. Especially that thin crust pizza that they had. Pan pizza was good too. But fucking
I remember like 93, 94 having fucking great pizzas at Pizza Hut. I had a pan pizza that had the barbecue pan pizza. It was around 93. That shit was fucking fantastic. I'm still trying to replicate some of that shit that we used to taste back then. The cheese was better. You'd bite it and it would stretch way out. It was a real buffalo mozzarella cheese. It was just better. But there wasn't a lot of... Times changed. You can go on YouTube and look at the damn urban exploration. A lot of those fucking restaurants are long gone now and abandoned. The profits aren't there. You know, not enough profit to keep that kind of shit running under today's competition. It's sad but true. People are more entertained by their cell phones and what they can stream than going to restaurants. It used to be going to a restaurant was like a form of entertainment. You didn't have anything else to do, so you went to a restaurant. It was before the information era.
Well, the thing about it too, the flip side of that, which I mentioned earlier, is that nowadays people are a lot more savvy about food, and people have been exposed to a lot more different kind of like, you know, flavors and stuff like that. So it's like you can't really get away with being just like a shitty like mid-tier restaurant so much anymore. Like if it's not good, like people won't go there.
Well, all of that was even in change back when we were kids. You know what I mean? They were fighting. There was like a war going on between the restaurants when I was a kid. The shit that wasn't that good was failing, and stuff that was good was succeeding. But in the end, the internet won, not restaurants. That's the way it seemed, you know.
I kind of laughed because earlier today, our friend Dimitri, he posted, I think it was in a Facebook group that I'm part of, that was like, oh, if you are from Central Florida, you'll remember this and that. And he posted a thing about Wag's restaurant. I don't know if they had these around the country, but we had one in Daytona. It was in the Volusia Mall. And me and my grandma and my great aunt, like when I was little, I was probably like 5 or 6, 7 years old. And my grandma and my great aunt, like when I was staying there, they would take me to the mall and they would go shopping in Learners and all that other kind of stuff and Pennies and everything, looking for clothes. And we would have lunch at Wag's, and I used to fucking love that. My favorite thing about that restaurant was that the whole, and this is a long time ago, I was a little kid, but I remember like the whole back wall of the dining room was all like refrigerated cases where like all their desserts were. So like you could go over there and look and be like, there'd be slices of pie, and I was like, I was all about that. Because you know how I do.
Sly's in there talking about how that I'm right. Back in the day, we would get excited about real shit. Now, it was before virtual reality and fucking online stuff. It was just a different era. Which kind of takes me back to some of the music that I grew up with. Fucking Billy Idol, with that album that he had called Cyberpunk. And he was talking about how the internet would change things. And he was absolutely right. He saw that shit coming. It's funny because Billy Idol's fans hated that album back in those days. But you go back and listen to it now, which I did a fucking couple weeks back, and I was like, man, he foresaw a lot of fucking shit about how the internet would change the world. The older generations were more about being there, and it was more of a fucking analog fucking experience, and restaurants were part of it. Restaurants are not as big today as they used to be. Fucking, like for instance, my parents' generations, they thought restaurants were like nightclubs. You go to eat a dinner at some basically a corporate restaurant, and they're judging the place about what a time that they had there. And I was like, this is at Denny's. What are you fucking worried about what happened at Denny's for? But, you know what I mean? It was just, the thinking was very different back then.
Don't shit on Denny's. They got good breakfast.
Denny's has fucking great breakfast. That little pan breakfast that they had in the skillet. Fucking, yeah, hell yeah.
Honestly, shit. Place where I used to work like several years ago. There was a Denny's not too far, and like every now and then I would call them and like order like a skillet lunch or something like that, and I would go there and pick it up, and that shit was delicious. I'm not shitting on Denny's. So, you know what I mean? I don't know. I just kind of feel like people are more discerning nowadays, and I don't think that's a bad thing. But I don't know. Like, I'm not a real nostalgic person. Like, I get why people, there were some shit that was better in the 80s, but if you came to me right now and said, hey, you want to go back to the 80s? I'd be like, no thanks. No thanks. Like, because, there was, like, some cool shit back then if you weren't there, but I don't know. I don't think I would want to. Everything else was, like, harder. I kind of feel like everything else is easier nowadays, and I really wouldn't want to go back to that. But I do get why some people like that. But like I said, I never wanted to be one of those people that was just kind of like, back in my day, it was like so much better, blah, blah, blah. I don't want to be that person. And I've never been that person. So it's kind of like every time period has good shit and every time period has bad, annoying shit. So I always just try to, whatever time we're living in, like, what's the best shit that's happening nowadays? It's like, it's probably better than what was going on back then. So, I don't know. I'm not real nostalgic, like I said. I do like 80s era shit. I do like that kind of stuff. But, if somebody asked me if I wanted to actually go back there and live, no. Absolutely not. Just too difficult. We have so much more stuff nowadays, and it's like, in a lot of ways, it's a lot better. But I get, like, why you would think otherwise. I get that. Let's see.
How long have you been streaming?
2 hours and 46 minutes.
Okay.
2 hours and 46 minutes.
Do you want to, you getting hungry?
Yeah, I'm
I got all kinds of damn crab salad and everything. I can make a crab salad sandwich down there.
I might, maybe 2.
You want 2? I can make you 2 of them.
Starling78 said, I remember when Pizza Hut was giving those buttons and free pizza for reading a certain number of books per month. Yeah, I remember that. Pizza Hut had their, book club. And every summer, like, you had to, like, if you brought in things, like, you read a book and did you have to, like, do a book report? I don't really remember. But they had some way of, like, proving that it's, like, you'd read all these books and stuff like that. And then you come and get, like, free pizza. I remember that. The Chop Suey Chinese restaurant we went to as a kid is closing down with almost 50 years of operating. Yeah, I mean, Sly says, you're also right, Jenny. Me and Tom are old school. Today is about making life conscientious. Yeah, it's like, I'm old too. Like, I'm honestly, like, I'm almost 50. Like, I'm almost a couple of years, I'm just a couple of years younger than him. But like I said, I've never been the kind of person, I'm just not the kind of person to, like, romanticize the past. Like, some things are better about the past. I'm not saying that.
It's a mix.
And I do, but I kind of feel like I'm more objective about it. Like, I tend not to be real nostalgic about it. It's like, oh, this was what it was like when I grew up and it should always be like that. Fuck that. I don't want that to happen. Because you'd never, like, make any progress.
Some of those pizza places were fucking fantastic.
Well, yeah, I'm not saying that. Like I said, like, back in the past, there was some better shit about the past.
Yeah.
But honestly, it's like, I don't get people that just romanticize the past, because it's like, there was, like, some good shit about the past, and you probably, like, remember that now that you're older. But it's like, there was a lot of shitty stuff about that too that you probably don't remember.
Shopping sucked. You couldn't get the variety.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, I remember now, it's just like, God, everything's so easy. It's like, everything I want.
You can find anything.
It's like, oh, I just want this. Oop, 5 minutes. And then, like, 2 or 3 days from now, it'll show up on my fucking doorstep. That's awesome.
You can find anything anywhere.
That's awesome.
That's not the way it was back in the day.
And honestly, like, nowadays, like, just the shit that we're doing right now. We're talking to you guys. You guys are all around the world. We're doing this.
That was a fantasy back in the fucking 80s.
And it's like, nobody was thinking about that. And it's like,
television, this is television you can talk to people through. That didn't exist in the fucking 80s. What are you talking about?
That's what I mean. We weren't even thinking about that.
No.
And
that would have been a fantasy.
And I've told you before, because I'm a writer, I'm also a graphic designer. I really like doing whole, like, book projects.
David Parker just ordered Pizza Hut.
I'm not shitting on pizza. Pizza's good.
Yeah, it could be good.
I mean, honestly, we usually get where we live now. Like, we usually get Domino's because it's right there. That's like the only thing that's close enough to deliver. But and, it's fine. I don't usually get pizza from there. I usually get a sandwich. To be honest, I usually get one of their sandwiches.
Or I make pizza here.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. I'm just saying if I order from there, which I don't usually, but I usually get a sandwich or like a salad or something.
Yeah.
But yeah. So the fact that I can write a book. I can lay it out exactly how I want it. I can design the cover. I can do it. And then I can put it online. Anybody in the world can buy that. That's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, like, that was what I dreamed about in the 80s and 90s. I really wish that could have been... I mean, I don't think I dreamed that specifically. But had I known that was coming, I'd have been like, yeah, exactly. That's what I want to do. So I would not go back to that time. No way.
Slide talking about how good the music was in the 70s and 80s. It was.
Well, that's true.
Yeah,
it
was better.
That's true.
Yeah.
I mean, now I'm not saying there's not good music around nowadays.
Just you don't hear it.
Because there is.
Find it.
But you have to look. You have to. It's a lot more proactive because there's so much.
Yeah, what it is that the popular corporate backed music of our era fucking sucks. To find good music, you got to find fucking individual creators on fucking YouTube.
Sure.
You got to go through that. You got to find exactly what you're looking for.
Which, in a way, you kind of had to do that back then, but it was easier.
You're right.
Like, back then, like,
there was less choices.
Even back, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, even back then, like, the corporate-backed, music, that sucked back then, too. And you still had to, look a couple layers down, to find the good shit. But it was easier back then. Yeah. Like, nowadays, there's good shit everywhere, but it's there's so much good shit. It's like an embarrassment of riches that you have to, dig around.
Sly, there are late 70s, early 80s revival bands of all the shit we came up with, and these are young people, and they are fucking doing this shit on YouTube and blow your fucking mind. They're good. They can fake the 80s like fucking crazy. All right, and you're going, yeah, that's right. That's what we were talking about. They're out there. Are they famous? No, they're not famous. Just that a lot of young people like the very early 80s.
Well, I've said before, I think, even something let's talk, Stranger Things, which is, massively, hugely successful. That was made by two brothers who I'm pretty sure were not even born in the fucking 80s. But they
saw that
captured
shit.
it.
They're like, okay, yeah, we know what this is.
Because when I saw it, I was like, yep, that's what it was like.
Yeah.
So the fact that, and I've seen that's not just them. I've seen some other movies and stuff like that have been made by people that weren't even born back then, but were just really into it, and they just made something that was set in that time period. I'm like, holy crap, that's what it was like. So,
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's just not... that's what I mean when I'm not, a nostalgic person. I like a lot of things from back then, but I have, a more objective view on it. It's yeah, there was a lot of cool shit, but there was a lot of really annoying shit, too.
Yeah.
That I wouldn't go back to.
70s and 80s was bad. And
that's what I'm saying.
But there was some good shit there. And a lot of the young people of today are looking back to that era going, oh, yeah, it's... Because 70s and 80s was... The shit that was really good was kind of a do-it-yourself kind of motif anyway.
I mean, it was analog. We didn't really have...
I mean, even some of the great mega bands like Blondie, if you actually analyze it, that's a do-it-yourself band. There isn't a whole lot new there. It's just a new packaging. It's doo-wop music. Doo-wop mixed with fucking disco every now and then. But they were good. They were real good. And and that just goes across the board. Well, how long have we been talking?
Almost 3 hours.
It's almost time to shut it down.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. I'll make us something to eat.
Yeah, I'm starving.
Okay.
Sly says I love Stranger Things. I'm still trying to get Tom to sit through it because
I haven't seen it.
He hasn't seen it.
I haven't seen it.
I've seen all of it.
Yeah.
But I keep telling him, it was you would really like it, but you have to watch it from the beginning, otherwise it's not gonna make sense to you.
I'll watch it.
Honestly, too, I just found this out. Doesn't it seem like we just watched the 4th season of Cobra Kai, right?
Seems like I love Cobra Kai.
The 5th season is coming out this month. I'm pretty sure.
We're gonna see that bitch.
Because I was just looking at, I saw some article the other day that was talking about, the best like horror and sci-fi that's coming to like Netflix and all like Hulu and everything. And I was just like, Cobra Kai season 5 already.
Yeah.
Holy shit! I feel like we just watched.
Sly, if you haven't seen Cobra Kai, man, watch all that shit. You'll get it. You'll understand. You're only a couple years older than me, man. You'll understand exactly what's going on. That's the fucking Karate Kid.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen Karate Kid, the 3 movies from Karate
Everybody's
Kid.
seen Karate Kid.
I got them. We grew up with them, you know what I mean?
Everybody's seen.
So they did a whole series called fucking Cobra Kai, and that was on YouTube for a while, and now it's where'd they move
Netflix.
it to? Netflix.
Yeah.
It's all on Netflix, right? All seasons are on
I
Netflix?
think they did buy the previous
thing?
seasons that have been on YouTube, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and you want to watch the whole fucking thing. All kinds of shit happens.
Well, again, just like any series, you kind of have to watch it from the whole thing to get like the full impact. Which, well, like I said, that's why if we're gonna do Stranger Things, you got to start at the beginning. You got to start
cheesy ass 1980s style karate movies,
but leans into it.
But it leans into the shit. They know it's
in the best possible way.
Yeah, it's great. It's great.
In the best possible way. They, like I said, they hit that really good balance between like being ironic and also being earnest. Like I kind of feel like they hit a good balance of those things.
Yeah. Okay, fucking Sly's seen 1, 2, and 3 of Karate Kid. You got to see fucking Cobra Kai, man.
It's so good.
Yeah, it's.
I didn't expect to like it as much as I liked it.
Cobra Kai.
It's really, really good.
Cobra Kai. And how many seasons of Cobra Kai are there? 4?
Well, the 5th one is coming out like this month, I guess. I just found out.
There are 4 seasons of Cobra Kai on YouTube. Or excuse me, Netflix. Go watch them. You'll like them, and you'll fucking fit right in. You'll know exactly what the fuck's going on.
I mean, it's fine.
And it's got the original cast from fucking.
They got everybody back.
Yep. Got everybody except fucking Morita. He's dead.
Well, he died.
Yeah, Mr. Miyagi's not in it.
They're not gonna like bring him back from the dead. That would be fucked up.
Right.
But yeah.
But no, it's a great series. Great series. Not a good series. A great series. I loved it.
Yeah, it was. That was like way 100% better than it actually had any right.
Yeah,
to
it
be.
didn't have a right to be that good.
It really did. But I was just like, I was really surprised. I'm like, oh my god, this is actually quite awesome.
Right.
This is quite awesome. Are you guys watching House of the Dragon? We are not. I still haven't seen. Man, there's like so much stuff I'm behind on. Seriously. And then when I found out that like new season of Cobra Kai was like, I was just like, oh. Yeah. As if that wasn't enough. I have like so many. I haven't even seen like a lot of the big TV shows that everybody talked about. I haven't seen most of Game of Thrones. I haven't seen, man, just so much stuff. So much stuff. Love you guys. Haha. So
yeah. No, the funny thing about Cobra Kai is that's just real. Okay. They had people like that. Fucking, the Black Dragon Society was kind of like Cobra Kai. Which that was the dude fucking, what was his name? Shit. The hairdresser guy.
Yeah.
In the comic books. Fuck, we did a show partially on that guy. And no, Cobra Kai actually, there's a certain amount of reality to it. Back in the 70s and the 60s, you had fucking...
Count Dante. Bless you, sweetie.
Yeah, Count Dante.
Pokey's back there sneaking.
Count Dante, the fucking deadliest man alive with the fucking killer fucking death touch hands that you saw in the back of the fucking Punisher comic books in the fucking middle of the fucking Spider-Man and shit. Yeah, they had dudes that were like that. And he was from Chicago. He had his own dojo, and he had his own students, and they went through what was called the fucking Chicago Dojo Wars. Where Count Dante actually got into some deadly battles with some other dudes. And fucking a couple of his dudes got killed in those fights. So it was fucking crazy when you actually look. They're fighting over karate and who has the best karate. And
I will reiterate at this point, I'm very surprised that most dudes make it to adulthood.
Yeah.
The stupid shit they will
Count Dante.
Seriously. Zach says, hey, Jenny, if one of your stories was turned into a movie, who would you want to direct it? I have one story in particular that was inspired by David Lynch. So I would actually really like to see if David Lynch would direct it. So there's that. But generally, I don't know. Maybe I'd like to see like Ari Aster or somebody like that take a swing at one of my things. I don't know. My style, I'm not really sure. It's kind of like all over the place, so I'm not really sure like if there's any directors in particular that, because they're all kind of like different. Strawdog78 said the young cast of Yellow Jackets, which is set in the 90s, commented that the period 90s fashion is pretty much what they wear today. Yeah, I kind of feel like everybody's wearing 90s shit nowadays.
There was Count Dante. All right. That man actually existed, and there's a whole fucking story behind that. That was the original fucking MMA motherfucker. And when you look at fucking Cobra Kai and hold on. When you look at shit like Cobra Kai and all this fucking, he was a hairdresser. He said how pretty he could cut hair. He was a creator and a destroyer, but motherfuckers are crazy. How did they survive? You're right, Jenny. How do men live?
I don't
as
understand
long as
how
they
men
do?
are still around.
Yeah.
Like, you'd think that evolution would have killed them off.
Yeah. Oh shit. I was gonna say, and there he is on the cover of Black Belt fucking magazine. All right. That's where all that fucking.
Yep.
He was the original.
I mean, he's trying so hard.
He was the original fucking Steven Seagal.
He's trying.
But they said he was a maniac and that he could fight.
Sure, but that's the thing. It's like, I don't know. Even if you can fight or if you can't, that's almost like a moot point because you're posing like that on the cover. And if you do that, then I'm automatically going to see that and be like, that dude is just like, he's fronting is what he's doing.
Yeah.
Like, he can't, like, I could beat his ass probably. But, I mean, maybe he could beat my ass. I don't know. But it just seems like when they're trying so hard like that, it makes me really question their actual.
It was another era.
I know, but I'm just saying. Automatically, if you're trying hard like that, I feel like there's probably like some you're compensating.
It was just another era.
You're compensating.
Yeah.
Victor said Emma Roberts could play me. Well, that's very flattering. Thank you very much. Louis says, watch it, Jenny, talking about House of the Dragon. It's a standalone in a way. Okay, well, I'll probably get around to it. Sly says, Black Belt Magazine, we would spend our last dime to get those.
Hell yeah. And then we fucking play the damn video games, like the karate video games and shit at 7-Eleven. With Black Belt right next to us. Not knowing what was bullshit and what was true. But we would believe any old kind of bullshit back in the early 80s. It was just a funny time, you know. I actually thought that a dude could punch his hand through an iron grill that was smaller than his fucking wrist. You know what I mean? And then pull it back out just through chi power. You know?
Did you not realize that like magic was a thing? Like magic, like magicians were a thing?
Well, it was
like
on Black Belt
illusionists?
magazine, so it must have been something to it. I thought it was paranormal.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
I thought they could do something paranormal, but it's not though. They're just.
No, it's not.
It's kind of like fucking.
Santa Claus isn't real either.
Yeah, it's just like, what's more likely? Are they telling
Everybody's
the
like,
truth,
what?
or are they lying? Well, what they're talking about was fucking the dude who could throw the chi balls. What's his name? Fucking.
Oh yeah, that motherfucker.
That guy. Yeah. You know, she knows exactly who I'm talking about.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah,
but I think it was like,
Yeah.
I'm throwing a chi ball right now.
Yeah, I forgot his name. But that motherfucker would just lie his ass off that he could. Stillman. Is that his name, Stillman?
That doesn't sound right, but maybe
Stillman. Fuck.
Dillman, Killman.
Some shit like that. He claimed that he could just knock you down by doing that and throwing out a chi ball.
I'm
But
gonna
he could
say
only knock over his students.
I would take great delight in standing across from him and watching him do all his moves, and me just standing there completely unaffected. That would be very, very hilarious.
What was funny about that shit is that he could only knock over his students by doing that.
Sure.
Not any skeptics.
Yeah, because I'd just be standing there going, is this supposed
Right.
to be doing something
Right.
or not?
Tillman? Greg Tillman? Was that his name? I don't remember.
I don't remember.
But they said that fucking, you know what I mean? They would show him doing that, and his students would fall over like,
You know,
they'd be,
okay.
like knocked out.
The analog for that,
Yeah.
if you guys remember back in the day, you would have those faith healers like Benny
Yeah.
Hinn.
Yeah.
They'd be like, "You're healed," and he would
Yeah.
like put his like fucking the heel of his hand like up to your forehead. Oh my god, I'm healed
Yeah.
of my cancer, my ass cancer or
Yeah.
whatever. And they would like fall down and they'd be like, "Oh my god, now I can walk." And before I was crippled, it's the same kind of thing. It's the same.
Yeah.
Those are plants.
Then he
is what-
goes
is
to
what those
going,
are.
Hadouken! Yeah, it's like just Hadouken!
Yeah.
Right out of
That's what
fucking-
that is.
That's what that is.
Those are plants,
Yeah.
or those are people
And
that
then
believe it.
Sly's
so
laughing,
stringently.
saying, "Yeah, we all believed those magazines back then. Yeah, we did, because we didn't know any better. And then, if it was in a magazine, it must have been true, you know."
It's written down.
And then
Somebody printed it.
They had dudes showing up with night vision goggles and all kinds of fucking equipment, saying that they were doing fucking that they came from Vietnam and were doing all this fucking special operations stuff for the CIA and fucking killing people and fucking knocking them out with oh shit, see, you do like that, and even your bracelet falling off.
Well,
and
yeah.
all that weird shit that's going on.
That was nice how you
and it turns
integrated
out
that.
that's the same dude fucking from fucking Deathsport.
Bloodsport?
Bloodsport, yeah. What was that guy's
The one
name?
with Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yeah, well, he played
Frank Dux.
Frank Dux. Frank Dux claimed to be Delta Force and all kinds of fucking crazy shit.
Well, sure, might as well.
There wasn't none to that dude.
Well,
but
no, of
fucking,
course
but they put that shit in Black Belt
You
magazine.
can make up all kind of stuff.
And when you're fucking 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, back in those eras,
Oh my
back in
God,
that area,
badass.
oh shit, must be something to that. If there wasn't something to it, it would never show up in that magazine. That was the thinking of the time. That was the thinking of the time. They put that shit in print. It's got to be true.
Well, you know.
We didn't realize that print was basically like fucking Reddit.
Well, everything is like that. So,
But we didn't know back then. You might as well just put that in the comment section on YouTube. They didn't give a shit.
no, they
They
didn't.
would fucking make anything up. But it was another era.
Danny Rowling said, didn't Frank Dux inspire the American Ninja films as well? I think he might have.
Probably, yeah.
I think he might have, yeah.
Frank Dux was the greatest liar of all times.
He got away with it for a long time.
Yeah.
Got to give him that. I mean, he was a good bullshitter.
He came up with he invented the American Ninja phenomenon, basically.
Sure.
And okay, cool.
I mean, yeah, good job.
Hollywood made a lot of money off of Frank Dux's lies.
Well, and probably a lot of independent studios too.
Yeah.
And I can't be too mad at it
Yeah.
because it's like I'm sure a lot of like hardworking actors and editors and special effects guys and shit like that, stuntmen, made a lot of money off those cheap jack ninja movies.
Yeah.
So they at least got a job
Yeah.
out of it. So I'm not going to be that mad.
And what was really awesome about the whole thing is that Steven Seagal jumps in on the tail end of that. Basically, Steven Seagal is fucking building his reputation.
Well, he
on
saw
the back of fucking
Frank Dux or Frank Dukes.
Douche. Frank
Or
Douche.
Frank Douche.
Frank Douche. He sees Frank Douche and he's like, "Oh yeah, hell yeah."
I could do
Fucking-
that.
Yeah, I could do that too. And
Except even more obnoxious.
yeah.
Sure.
And then there comes fucking Hard to Kill. Great movie. Loved Hard to Kill. And then fucking the one where he's on the ship. What was the one where he's on the ship? I got two of them.
Out for justice.
Under Siege.
Under Siege.
Under Siege 1
I'm
and 2.
just trying to think of it's like out, under,
Siege 1 and
below, down, up,
down, under, kill, death.
left, right, back, front.
Yeah. Blade. Listen, you could use a computer to generate those fucking names.
I'm sure there's probably
Yeah.
look, if there's a Giallo movie name generator, there's
Yeah.
a Steven Seagal movie name generator somewhere
Yeah.
out there, I'm sure. Somebody Google that right now and
Right.
tell me if there is one. There's got to be.
And I'll rail on Seagal. I would fucking rail on Seagal. Being a fan of Seagal at the same time. Fucking Bar for Death, Out for Justice, fucking
Above the Law, says
Above the
Louis.
Law, Under the Law, fucking
To the side of the law,
inside the law,
outside
the law. You can do whatever you fucking want with that shit.
sitting on top of the
Sitting
law.
blowing the law, sucking the hood of the law, fucking playing with the nuts of the law, just whatever, you know, fucking. But
oh my god, we should do a whole show about like coming up with fucking Steven Seagal names.
Yeah, but out of them all, I fucking Under Siege. Under Siege.
I mean, I kind of feel like that's like the only good one.
Yeah, Under Siege.
And I use the term good advisedly. It's just kind of like that's it.
Under Siege.
Out of like just relatively, comparatively, like all of the output.
Yeah.
That one is actually like a real movie.
Yeah. Under Siege was
that you could maybe like enjoy.
Yeah. Under Siege 2 was fun too.
I don't remember.
I want to watch that one again.
I don't remember ever seeing that.
That was the one that was happening on a train. It was happening on a train. And he's there with his niece. And he's making the moves on his niece.
I was going to say, was he banging the niece?
She was telling his niece how pretty she was. You know,
ew.
Like, well, you know.
So he's the creepy uncle.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Gross.
You got to see it, though. But they play that off like...
Why did that not surprise me?
Yeah.
That seems... That is
Seagal.
totally on brand.
Steven Seagal.
That's completely on brand.
It's Steven Seagal. He's going to be a creep. But fucking Under Siege was looking.
Was he gonna like try and diagnose her with breast cancer?
You're making me want to watch these movies again. You're making me want to watch these movies again.
Beneath the law.
Fucking Sly knows, man. He's of the proper age. He's of the proper age to understand the mentality of the era. It was not meant to be taken seriously. It was all entertainment, okay, and it was fantasy. And you were supposed to kind of escape off into this shit and pretend that something like this could actually happen. And that you are starring in this movie. That's part of it, too.
It's a self-insert.
Sly will tell you. Yeah, because you secretly going like, yeah, I could do that. This movie's about me. This movie's actually about me.
Meanwhile, every normal person that's watching with you is like, shut up, what are you even talking? You can't do that.
But they knew what they were doing back then. They knew how to fucking write.
Like I said, it's a fantasy insert.
They knew how to write back then to fucking pull random motherfuckers into this fucking male fantasy.
Yeah.
They knew how to do it. It was good. It was good. They were fun. When you're young, you buy it. When you get a little bit older, you go, oh, I see what you did. I see what you did. Yeah, that's why I like that movie. Okay, I got you. Fucking. But when you were in your 20s, probably that would.
They had your number.
Yeah, they knew how to fucking pull you into it.
Sure.
You're like, you could be as great as this dude. You could.
You're right. I could.
You could be as great as this dude. You secretly are as great as.
I could also be watching.
They just don't know
naked
yet.
ladies jumping out of cakes and like being fucking a Navy SEAL working on the ship.
You secretly are a Navy SEAL
with a pretend Cajun accent.
Yeah. And at any moment, hot ass Playboy bunny gonna jump out of a fucking cake with her fucking titties.
You never know.
And you're gonna save this shit because the Admiralty is gonna talk to you over the damn cell phone, and you're gonna figure it out, and you're gonna fucking save the shit from Tommy Lee Jones.
Only hope.
Tommy Lee Jones is no match for you. And fucking what's his name? Crazy motherfucker. What's that crazy motherfucker?
The Busey.
Busey, yeah.
Busey that was Senior. Jake Busey, was it not? Oh no, that was the senior Busey. Okay.
Back when a Busey was a Busey. Okay.
Jake Busey was in The Frighteners.
Yeah, big Busey.
They're both
good. But Gary's he's more Busey than Jake. I mean, he's
the Boosiest.
That motherfucker is a wino. Okay, that's the wino Busey. Okay, and he's out there. You know, what am I talking about? I don't need any mental evaluation. Yeah. That's what he's doing.
Says every person that absolutely does need a mental evaluation.
I'm not crazy. Fucking Busey was the shit, though. You're making me want to watch these old movies.
Well, now see, Strong as 78 brings up a good thing.
Yeah.
Executive Decision, and that's Steven Seagal is in that, and
I haven't seen
the
it.
Krustle is in that.
Oh shit! Send it to me.
So I kind of feel like that's probably one we should do. I've seen it, but it was like a long time ago. And
if you send it to me, I'll review it. I'd love to see it, but I don't have that one.
Kanavatson says Seagal needed a movie with Ashita Kim kicking Count Dante's ass.
Yeah.
Honestly, I would probably pay a few bucks to like watch that because that would probably be hysterical.
Ashita Kim would never show up on set though.
He'd be sneaking around the outside of your suburban Rambler, sneaking under the windows and like peeking up. Look, I'm a ninja.
Ashita Kim was fucking deep in the LARPing community. He was afraid.
That's a nice way of putting it.
He was afraid to be around real martial artists like Steven Seagal. So he was out there.
That's pretty bad.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad if you're afraid that you're gonna get your ass kicked by Steven Seagal. Like I said, to be fair, he could sit on you, okay.
Yeah.
Which, that would probably that would be bad.
Okay,
But
if y'all don't know who Ashita Kim is, Ashita Kim is a fake ninja, all right? And he's got to be an 80 now, all right? You can go on Facebook and go look up Black Dragon Fighting Society, and there's a bunch of videos on there made by a guy called the Pink Man, and he'll tell you all about Ashita Kim and his history. Ashita Kim is a fake ninja, a white dude who claims to be trained by Japanese ninjas, even though Kim is a Korean fucking last name.
He looks like some motherfucker that would have worked in like a stereo store back in 1978.
Ashita Kim probably weighs 125 pounds.
Like, did you see Boogie Nights?
Right.
And you saw like the white guy that worked in the stereo store back
Right.
then? That's that guy.
Ashita Kim weighs probably about 125 pounds. He's probably about 5'7". All right. He put out a bunch of videos that he sold to kids of him showing ninjutsu tactics of how to fucking duck down underneath windows as you pass them.
Which I would never have thought of that. And I'm really, really glad that I paid $19.99 plus shipping and handling.
Right. How to jump up and throw sand.
Learn how to duck underneath a window to prevent being seen. I mean, that is some good information.
Ashita Kim's main skill was to throw sand in a motherfucker's face.
He got that from like those old comic book things with like the 98-pound weakling throwing sand at like.
So what you got is
it works, to be fair. Like
125 pound skinny white boy in his 40s with a fucking beard with a fucking pocket full of fucking sand. Okay, he's always walking around with sand in his pockets to throw that shit on you. And let me tell you something, fucking Mr. Kim, you're gonna get your ass whipped. Okay. All right, that sand is not enough.
I mean, it would probably, if you're gonna go that route, Ashita Kim, I'm just blue skying here.
Yeah.
If you're gonna go that route, probably it would be better rather than having sand in your pocket. Maybe have a little vial of sulfuric acid.
Yeah.
That would probably work a little bit better.
Con's talking about how fucking hilarious those videos are. Yeah, they're on Facebook.
They're super funny.
I found them on Facebook. Just go on Facebook and look up Black Dragon Fighting Society, and those videos are all there because they're off of YouTube. They got taken down. Black Dragon Fighting Society on YouTube, and fucking look at Pink Man's videos. He's got a bunch of them, and he's got some about ninjas. He's got them about fucking Frank Dux. He's got them about fucking Ashita Kim, and he's a great producer, even though he's a troll and he says crazy shit, but he made some really good videos, and he's got this nerdy voice that sounds like Woody Allen telling you about fucking martial arts. But he great videos, great. I'm gonna rest him.
Stardog says there should be a game. Get random Steven Seagal and Liam Neeson movie titles and determine which one stars in which movie. See, I kind of feel like the whole thing about, and maybe this is kind of the same way that they make a haunting episode titles, is the kind of the same way that they come up with Steven Seagal movie titles. I think you have, you know how you have those like, what is it called? Like magnetic poetry or whatever. You get like the little box and it's like a bunch of little magnets that have like one word on there, and like you kind of like can rearrange them however you want. I kind of feel like that's how they come up with Steven Seagal. They're always kind of like 2 or 3 words, very pithy, and they're always kind of like, it's like an action word, and it's like we're out for death, or we're above the law, or this, that, and the other. Like very, very short, very punchy. Like I get it, but like I said, it's kind of the same thing that happens with the haunting episodes, where it's like everything is like echoes from the grave, or shit from the past, or whatever. It's just like they always have these kind of like, and I can't remember like one for the other because they're all like too similar. They're like not really distinctive. I get that maybe at the time, which is probably all they're worrying about, they're just like, yeah, that sounds like something we want to see. Let's go see Above the Law or Next to the Law or whatever the fuck the movie is called, Next to the Law. I'd probably go see a movie called Next to the Law. Not gonna lie. Standing Next to the Law in the elevator. I don't know. I'm just making stuff up. Danny Rolling said, I heard Steven Seagal was asked to perform his smash hit Punani song during the Super Bowl halftime show.
Yeah.
You know what? I might actually pay to go see the Super Bowl. I might actually watch the Super Bowl if, like, he actually did that. What is that?
It's just a little bit.
It's not tequila, is it?
No.
Okay.
No, it's same as what you're drinking. It's just got a little bit of
okay.
What you call it? Okay, look. Before we end the show, I'm gonna fucking defend the honor of martial arts. Okay.
Are you really?
Yes. Okay. Where all that crazy shit came from was Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee back in the 60s and the 70s was saying that there had to be a martial art where you would be more free form, where there wasn't a lot of rules, so you could see what style would actually win. That never happened during Bruce Lee's lifetime.
Later on, he died. Lifetime,
yeah,
sure.
He died later on, unfortunately. Later on in the 90s, something called Ultimate Fighting appeared, which fucking Sly remembers what I'm talking about. And Ultimate Fighting was closer to what Bruce was talking about. But probably the ultimate version of what Bruce Lee was talking about was MMA. Okay. MMA is actually something that actually works. All right. It's actually how to beat a motherfucker's ass, which involves punching, kicking, grappling, and fucking ground game.
Well, just doing whatever.
Doing whatever it takes.
It's all contextual.
Right. But back in the 80s, fucking Frank Dux and shit fucking is listening to what listening to what fucking Bruce Lee's thinking. He's thinking of the fucking movie Bloodsport, where it's a fucking martial arts fight to the death.
The Kumite.
Yeah, the Kumite. No, that's not what it would be in real life. What it would really be in real life would be MMA. And dudes like Frank Dux would not have made it in MMA. Bruce Lee would have made it in MMA, but he would have had to have trained for MMA. He'd have to pick up a couple more pounds and learn a ground game. Bruce was good, even though he was an actor.
He was in good shape.
He was in good shape. He was good. He was an actor. He came from Chinese theater, which is mostly dance and fake martial arts.
Well, Jackie Chan did too,
Yeah.
and Jackie Chan could probably kick my ass even nowadays.
Right. But those dudes had to work. Okay,
Sure.
They had to work, and they had to work by making movies.
They were in good shape.
So they weren't out there in these fights where they're beating each other up, and then they're out for fucking 3 or 4 months to heal up. They didn't have time for that. But if you go back and listen to what Bruce Lee's interviews and what he's talking about with martial arts and what has to happen, he's describing MMA. So he was right. That did happen. And to his credit, Bruce would have been good at MMA. He would have had to pick up some pounds so he could wrestle and pick up a ground game so he could wrestle. But no, Bruce would have been good. He was good, even though he was not a pro fighter. He was an actor. But everybody who's dealt with him and knew him said he was good. He wasn't the kind of guy you wanted to fuck with, even though he didn't weigh but like 135 pounds. But he was in good shape. He was fast, real fast. He just couldn't grapple. Well, he could grapple, but he wasn't trained to grapple and wrestle. And that's what he lacked. But he couldn't imagine what free-form fighting in its ultimate form would have been like. Most people thought it was more along the lines of what Count Dante thought, which is stylized kicking and spinning and fucking jumping up and spinning around and kicking a motherfucker in the head, which that works, but it doesn't work against a real trained fighter. That works against just random dudes.
Khan's asking about Chuck Norris.
Chuck was good too. He was good in his day.
Although I will say I think Bruce Lee was a much better actor than Chuck Norris. Chuck Norris not really that great an actor.
These guys were dudes of their era. if Chuck was a young guy wanting to do what he does now, and say, well, I'm going to make a name for he'd be in MMA. He wouldn't have been in karate or kung fu type shit. You can use some of that, like the Gracies do that, like the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Did pretty good in MMA. Great, I wouldn't fuck with the Gracies because it's like an Oriental martial arts, but it also has fucking grappling and wrestling in it. Most fights end up on the ground. Most real fights do. Okay, so you got to have that. That's what that is. That's what that's all about.
Sly says Sonny Chiba, R.I.P., was a grappler. Yeah, I remember, Sonny Chiba was actually I saw a bunch of it.
Yeah, I remember him.
Kanavatson said in a real fight he would have won Chuck or Bruce. Probably Chuck, I would imagine.
Chuck, mass.
And I'm not a big fan of Chuck Norris. Like I said, I probably brought this up before, but my ex-husband was like a big fan of like Chuck Norris, so I saw all of that motherfucker's movies, even all the bad ones. So
quantity has a quality all its own.
Not a great actor, gonna say.
Mass helps. Okay. I mean, you look at me, you guys look at me, I fucking look like I'm fucking ready, but I'm only 5'6". Size means a lot in a fight. If you can pick somebody up, you can usually beat their ass. That's why children don't beat adults' asses. Okay? You look at fucking even Frank Frazetta paintings of fucking Conan, alright? How big is Conan? We don't know how big Conan is. Conan in those paintings is bigger than a woman. He's about the same size or maybe a little bit bigger than your average man. But then in other pictures, you see him fighting a fucking dude like a damn ogre or something with fangs. And he would be like me fighting a guy that's fucking 6'6". Okay? He's up in the air with his knife and shit. He's at a disadvantage. So size is relative. Size matters. It doesn't matter how strong you are that much. I mean...
Well, I mean, if a person has a foot of height on you...
They got reach...
And weight on you, then yeah, they're probably going to beat your ass.
Right. Now, if a guy's a foot taller than me, but he only weighs 145 pounds, that'd be the equivalent of me fighting a kite. I'd tear him up. But if he weighs 220 pounds, and I'm just coming up at 200... I don't think I'd be at an advantage, actually. I think a fucking 6'2", 220-pound guy would be at an advantage over me. So all this shit fucking comes into play in what you would call, with the quote-unquote, martial arts. All right. Quantity is a quality all its own. If your opponent can pick you up, you're at a disadvantage. You can't get any leverage once you're up off the ground to punch and put enough power into somebody to knock them out. I mean, you can still hurt them, but it's just not as good as if you were on the ground. That way you can conduct that leverage into them. Although when you look at paintings of Conan, he's got a bladed weapon, so you're cutting. It's different. So unarmed combat and armed combat are different. Armed combat, especially if it's something like bladed weapons or fucking blunt weapons, speed has a lot to do with it. They always show these big club, fucking Warhammer type weapons. If you actually go back and look at what medievals used, they used Warhammers, but the end of the hammer was fucking only a couple pounds. It didn't weigh much. They liked stuff that was light, that you could swing and hit real quickly over and over again, rapid blows. They didn't like these big fucking 10-pound heads or 5-pound heads like you'd see in Conan, where it was just speed tends to win over power when it comes to that kind of shit.
Picture says Chuck Norris is a party pooper. Yeah, I don't think
He wasn't always, though.
I don't think he takes himself quite as seriously as Steven Seagal, but he takes himself seriously enough that he has a hard time, like, taking a joke. And he's, like, super, super religious, and he's, like, super... Like, he wouldn't do the Expendables movies because he's like, well, I don't like all the swearing in that. Which, like, what century do you live in? Sorry, but... Come on, like, are your sensibilities that delicate that you can't listen to somebody say fuck or something and you're gonna get all, like, butthurt about it? Come on now.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be, like, some big badass and you can't even, like, listen to somebody swearing. You get all, like, you know, bring me the fainting couch. I don't get it.
Well, I think when he got older, he started to worry too much about religion and, you know, sin and things like that. And he put a lot of importance in all that. He was just a dude from another era. But as far as I know, when he was young in the 70s, he wasn't really like that.
I mean, that's the thing. Like, I'm not going to shit on him. Like, he can actually fight. Yeah. Now, he can't act. That's for sure. But he could actually fight. I'm not going to, like, shit on him for that. But, yeah, I feel like as he got older,
he
just got, like, way more uptight and religious. And it's like, I can't be down with people that can't even... listen to people swearing. I'm that's how people talk.
At first, he could not really grasp the Chuck Norris joke.
Yeah, he got really offended by that. And like, honestly, like a few years back, this is a while back, but there was a guy that kind of made his living. He kind of looked like Chuck Norris, so he kind of made a living like being a Chuck Norris impersonator. Like, he didn't lie and say he was Chuck Norris, but he's like, oh, if you're having a party or some kind of function and you want somebody to come in that kind of looks like Chuck Norris, and it's like, I'll pretend to be Chuck Norris, like he would do that. And like, Chuck Norris sued him.
Right.
And I was like, dude, this bro is probably just like trying to put food on the table. Why you want to be that way? Like, don't be such a douche.
It'd be like Elvis fucking suing an Elvis impersonator.
Right. It's like, why you want to be like that? Like, look, this is just some guy that's just trying to make a living.
And what was weird is that the impersonators and the fucking the jokes, the Chuck Norris jokes, were actually bolstering Chuck Norris's legend.
Right, they weren't making fun of him. It's not like Steven Seagal where everybody laughs about how fat or like how like shitty his movies are. Yeah. Like, all the Chuck Norris stuff was like how like over the top badass he was. Yeah. So it's like you'd think that he would embrace it. But no, it's like he couldn't even get down with that.
He felt insecure about it because he's not as badass as portrayed in the movie.
That's what I'm saying, and I kind of feel like
he thought they were making fun of him. That's the whole
thing, and that's why
he didn't have a sense of humor.
I kind of feel like the whole thing about it's like, oh, Chuck Norris, he's so badass and stuff like that. But it's like, how badass can you be if you're that insecure? Yeah. About your masculinity.
He couldn't lean into it and go, yeah, I'm so badass when I do push-ups, the earth moves.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
if it was me, I'd have been like, yep, that's right.
That's right. You know,
I'd wear the shirts and everything.
Yeah. I do push-ups, and I don't fucking push up, the earth moves down. Fucking, you know what I mean? And fucking... But that's to be expected when you're Chuck Norris, based on the movies that you made. So I don't understand where the motherfucker... He evidently backed off on that eventually. He understood that they were riffing, but it wasn't against him. It was about the movies.
I'm like,
he was a character in the movies, and
if you're in the public eye, in the first place, and your whole persona, particularly people like Chuck Norris or people like Steven Seagal or somebody like that, your whole persona is that, oh, what a badass you are. Now, if people start clowning on that, if you get all up in arms about it and start talking and start taking yourself all seriously and stuff like Steven Seagal does, people are going to clown on you even harder. Yeah. So it's better to just kind of like go with it. People will like you a lot better. Have a sense of humor. Don't be that insecure. Don't be that insecure.
What got Seagal, it was several things. You make me want to watch the Steven Seagal movie.
I'm not watching one.
The accents.
I mean, I could watch it, but I'll probably fall asleep.
The accents was one. All right. What race is Steven Seagal? Okay, you don't know what race he is.
He's all races.
He's all races.
He represents all of us.
Okay. The accents. All right. The other one is the fucking...
He's the quintessential Earthling.
Yeah. The other one is fucking his sexual orientation. The motherfucker's always trying to do shiatsu on some chicks' fucking titties to see if they got fucking cancer or something. He's constantly fucking scoping and scheming on whatever female.
And he's like old.
He wasn't that old back in those days.
But
when he started.
still.
When that riff started,
Dude, that's
he was
crazy.
just in his 30s. And the
Like,
girls were in their
stop it.
20s, which there wasn't that big of a deal. But now he's pretty egg shit. And he's like in his late 50s.
He's like some
scheming
grandpa
on, like,
coming
20
at you.
yeah.
It's gross.
Yeah, and he's scheming after some fucking.
I mean, it's gross when young dudes do it too, but
Yeah.
it's like really gross
Yeah.
when old dudes do it.
He's like in his fucking late 50s, and he's not in good shape. It's not like you're talking about fucking Mick
Here I
Jagger or
come
something.
for your
Yeah,
titties.
and
Ew.
he's not in good shape. And she's
Ew.
like, and she's some Japanese chick, fucking in her 20s.
she's probably
and he's
like-
got a samurai sword with a ponytail. It's fucking ridiculous. But Jenny's saying that motherfucker's so old. But the thing is, though, is that she knows that old motherfuckers like David Bowie in her 40s and her 50s were fucking swanging. So Mick Jagger in his fucking 40s and 50s. was fucking
Yeah,
doing
but
great.
when I say old, that doesn't necessarily mean
it's
like
not
age.
biological, it's just it's
I've said that before.
yeah,
when I say
it's-
old, I'm not
there's
shitting on
some-
old people. I'm old too.
yeah. There's
I'm
just
saying
something about-
old.
It's like a spiritual.
Old as an
oldness.
attitude.
It's like a spiritual oldness.
It's not necessarily like how old you are in
Yeah.
number. I don't give a shit about that.
Yeah.
But you act like an old person or you come across like an old person, then yeah, you're old. But
Yeah.
if you don't, then that's okay.
They got dudes out there in their 50s and 60s that can just fucking swing.
Danny Rowling said Steven's a boobologist. Like
He's
Tom.
a boobologist, yeah. He's got to study the boobs.
Well,
Yeah.
are you gonna give him like a Are you gonna give him like a degree?
Like a degree?
From the boobologist study?
He wouldn't accept a degree from me, actually. He
You
would
shouldn't
fucking
give him one. Don't encourage him.
No, I'm saying if I were to come up with a degree, he would be like, oh, no, I have my own degree. He would say that he would have
He made his own boobology degree.
Right.
He came
Yeah.
up with that before
Yeah,
you
he
did.
would come up with some fucking crazy shit.
He's like way better
But,
than you, obviously.
yeah, he would say he's better than me at it and fucking this.
Well,
and that.
he's better than you at
Yeah.
weighing a lot.
Just everything. Yeah, just everything.
I mean, that's one thing. So,
I'm not worried about him.
he's better than you at that. And being in shitty movies, I mean, you've never been in
Constant
shitty
is
movies.
hilarious. He's in there laughing.
You've never been in shitty movies, right? So
Yeah,
he's better, obviously.
yeah.
I don't know.
All right, so why don't we shut this down, Jim?
Yeah,
I'll
I'm
make
s-
us something to eat.
I'm starving.
Starving. I'll make us something to eat. Go ahead and shut
All
it down.
right.
We'll be out when?
We'll be back
Sunday?
Sunday, and we're going to be talking about the new Sylvester Stallone movie.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, look,
Samaritan.
saw Samaritan. It's free on
Amazon Prime.
Amazon Prime. It was
It's
good.
an Amazon Prime original.
It was good, real good.
We're going to be talking about that on Sunday.
Superhero movie, and
Yeah.
fucking Stallone produced it himself. It's under his own company. They pulled a superhero out of thin air. It's not a. He made up a superhero.
I mean,
and-
might as well.
Yeah, and it fucking did good. It was good.
Now, I
liked it.
will say, I don't know, I'll save it for Sunday maybe. But I was
Save
going to
it.
say, I thought it was a little bit of a, I don't want to say ripoff. That's like, that sounds.
Well, everything's a ripoff in the superhero
That's
thing.
true.
There's some stuff that happened in it. You're like, oh, I see where you got that. They were
Right, right.
homaging a bunch of stuff. I
Yeah,
think.
okay.
But I think it's a one-off. I don't think they'll do another one. But it's good. It's good.
It was- yeah, it was
it's good.
entertaining. It was
It's
entertaining.
Good. It's entertaining.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Samaritan on fucking.
Just called Samaritan.
Samaritan.
Samaritan. It's on Amazon Prime. I
Worth
think it's an
watching.
Amazon Prime original. Yeah, if
Yeah.
you like superhero
Yeah.
movies, you're probably
Yeah, it was worth it.
All right, so we'll be back on Sunday talking about that. So thanks for hanging out with us this evening, doing the taste test on the Colt 45, which was much better than I was expecting. So,
Yeah.
well, maybe
Billy Dee came through.
maybe we'll do another taste test on next Friday's show.
Yeah, do
we'll see how it
Hurricane.
goes. We'll
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 do
go to the
Hurricane.
liquor store and see what we can come up with. We'll see what we can come up
Yeah.
with. But yeah, so thanks for dropping by. Thanks for super chats. We will see you guys again on Sunday evening. Good night.